once again, and this is Kev, and oh look, another Saturday night here on YouTube on this channel, Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Black Men Being Brutally Honest as a YouTube channel, and Kev as in myself represents the habitual line steppers. I represent myself, obviously, but I'm also a representative, a card carrying member, and an original habitual line stepper for the few that know about that. And every one of these broadcasts, you see it scroll across the bottom of the screen. Long live the habitual line steppers. The Roger Report Live, YAS4W, Black Men Being Brutally Honest, Sister George, and Darth Skater 7. Fair use in place. That was not, nor has it ever been, for nothing. And I'm going to put it that way because, I don't know, I want to talk about a little something that I see brothers often discussing, and is often discussed in an extremely negative way. So let me check this chat. All right. Shout out to Judge Dre, Charles Gilmore 3. I'm listening and new. I'm just gonna clear some things up first of all. When we started out in this space back a couple years ago, shout out to Southeast Dusty. We were not watched by very many people. In fact, maybe we had 1, 2, or 3 eyes on us every broadcast, and sometimes 0. We just sit there and we'll just talk. Be like a telephone conversation. I mean, we'll get a few views for it, but that's how it was. This was us, previous to the Black Manosphere, I would say, because we always had us. We always had the habitual line steppers. We always had the people that we already knew. And it was kind of a mix. It was kind of like male and female. It wasn't all male. A lot of the conversations they were all male. And then we started to run across different people, which was cool. But we didn't quite understand. I guess you could have said we had we about had as much understanding coming into this space as any full grown adult would. Or at least supposedly, we're supposedly surrounded by other full-grown adults that will probably have a full-grown adult understanding. So that's where we were at the time. We didn't think about anything, like the space. We thought about, hey, you know what? It's kind of fun getting on this platform and doing these little conversations like this. They're very interesting. And the more and more time went by, we started to draw in certain people, and we kind of like stumbled on, like I would say, through a series of meeting this person and meeting that person, we started to run across people that were in this space, and there were people in this space that were welcoming with our presence. So we started to go around them a little bit. Like I would say more so Roger, Donnie would go around them. I would be more so the guy that was trying to find time to do it. But it's just what we did. I mean, a lot of people complain, and yes, I'm going to say this, complain about Roger, having females on his panel. But if anybody knew Roger from back in the day, that's just how it was. That's just how we did things. We had females on our panels. It's just something that we're used to. And it seems like that some of the people that we have been coming around or have been coming around lately aren't as used to it as we are, which, limits my understanding, because I feel like, when you're a full grown man, you have dealt with females to a certain level at this point. And, the back and forth chatter, that's all good, but, it can't be drawn out and unproductive, because the one thing that I do understand is that you have an audience to consider. You have a chat to consider. People who are putting their eyes on the broadcast. People who are gracious enough to participate in the chat and leave their comments and their thoughts. Even after the broadcast is off the air and it's re-uploaded for on-demand playback, people will, make comments, letting the content creator know what they think, and that's cool. So you have all those people to consider. I could get on this platform and spew everything that happened, that is going on in my day, that went wrong, that went right, but you know what? If it's boring to everyone else, that does no good. So, um, why is it like that? Why is it the fact that maybe there are people that want to see this little gender skirmish end and have some conversations where they can be topic based and male and female can participate and it be a part of a topic, instead of a female showing up and then becomes personal about her? So back to the whole habitual line stepper thing. It's Sister George. She's been in this space longer than I like. She's been in this space longer than I have. I don't know if she's been on YouTube longer than I have, but she's been in this particular space, within the black manosphere, longer than I have. And she's definitely paid her due, and you know what? She came along with us, with the habitual line steppers. And when people swipe at her, I do feel some kind of way. Now I've been kind of feeling this way for a while, because I've been observing this behavior for quite some time. People always kind of swiping at Sister George. And, Sister George is a full grown woman. She can handle herself. She doesn't need some random nigga flying in on a cape saying, "Hey guys, stop fucking with her." Because, she seems to be able to handle herself pretty well. But the issue that I'm having with that as of right now, and it really been like this, is the fact that Sister George is a habitual line stepper. Now that right there has to be taken under heavy consideration, seeing that every one of these weekend broadcasts that I do, her name is scrolling across the bottom of that screen. That means something. That means that somebody fucks with Roger or Donnie or Darth Skater or Sister George, there's an issue. Period. I can't let it, I'll even put it like this. I even show you how gracious and lenient I've been about this. I let it slide the first 100 fucking times. You know what? 100 times is excessive. So brothers, I don't have to go after bigger YouTubers. You know who you are, because plenty of you niggas out there been saying it. You've been making your little bitch comments and your little chats and whatever. I know it's you. Damn, I see you. I see this shit quite often. It's it almost makes me feel like I'm on YouTube a little bit too much. I do a weekend broadcast. It's damn, but I do take the time to drop into the chat and see what's going on. Lots of little things get said about Sister George. Fuck is wrong with you niggas? This wasn't going to get answered. If it keeps going, it's going to get answered harder. I don't like to do that, because I like to focus on other things, like the growth of this channel and whatever benefits the habitual line steppers. If I got to step outside of myself to handle shit like this, then, that's a personal waste of my time. It's period. It's I don't like doing that. And in order for me to not have to do that, why don't you just slow the fuck down a little bit? I don't want things getting ugly. I mean, I just got here, I'm not going to say, oh my God, I'm going to leave the black manosphere because it's some bitch nigga shit going. No, I'm not going to do that. But goddamn, I mean, it's like y'all. I thought y'all niggas was killers. It's like y'all let women control y'all emotions. Like, oh my God, I understand the insults. Like, I don't like insults either. I don't like insults. I don't like conversation derailment. But hey, you know what? I find that a lot of guys, a lot of males, do like to derail conversations. I appreciate everything that everybody has done. But it's like this. Sometimes sometimes you can't rely on male help. I'll put it to you like that. I mean, of course, me, myself, Roger, and Donnie, we help each other out all the time, but we're a team. The same team Sister George is on. So I mean, I just want you niggas out there to keep that in mind. I mean, I don't have any problem with females being around. I grew up with females in my family. I mean, I know how females can be. I know how dudes can be. Hell, I mean, I have no reason, and I got to be honest with you guys, to swear allegiance to any gender. I said in a broadcast a long time ago, 95% of y'all, the jury is out. Like, seriously. Like, I wasn't kidding. Damn. You look at social media, it just gets worse. It gets more bleak. It's like, damn. It's like, why be happy about some bullshit like that? Like, it's ridiculous. And then I got to come here, oh, Sister George. Yeah. I mean, I don't expect anyone to say, "Hey, don't attack Kev." Hey, shit, just let Kev know. I mean, I'm saying I don't when I do stuff like this, I don't expect Darth Skater to come out of nowhere and just cut people's head off. I do this on my own. So they didn't know I was gonna go out on a rant like this. They didn't know that. It's all me, brother. It's all me, sister. No worries. It's just that sometimes you get a little tired of seeing stuff. I mean, I'm a peaceful guy. I like doing news stories. I like calling, I like calling certain things that happen in our society. I like calling out the stupidity of things. But I like to laugh. I like to laugh at certain things. You know what I'm saying? Give a certain spin to it that is brutally honest. It's to the point, and it's a message that is efficiently delivered. And one thing that I wanted to not find myself doing, and I got to be honest with you, and men should be able to talk about these kind of things. I didn't want to be the guy that talked about women and women weren't around. You know what? I mean, if we are to continue beyond our years, we have to talk to them. And as I understand, you say you want to have conversations where you want to teach young men how to build, how to make money, how to carry on in life better. Focus on self. I understand that. I understand that, but it's like the guys that say they do that, they most so spend more time bitching and trashing other dudes. And then like they start to look like the people they complain about. Bad hombre, gorilla glue girl. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we talked about that last night. I mean, we can't talk about gorilla glue girl every night. I just want to address a couple things. That's all. I mean, I don't want anybody to get up here and feel like they have to say certain things, but it's the topic is basically is like how much I don't give a fuck if women participate in the space. I mean, because honestly, if you had to rely on an all male contingency, you're not going to do that much. That is reality. Sorry, guys. Sorry. It seems to work together when the genders. It seems to work out pretty good when the genders are interacting. And I mean, like, whether it's on a positive note or a negative note, it seems to be working. You need to accept that fact. Yes, we want to be productive, but y'all niggas that started y'all gotta stop talking about it, start being about it, because most of your conversations slip into that kind of thing. That's why I don't understand why all these dudes be coming out here talking about, well, the black manosphere this, the black manosphere that, because you feed into a certain type of negativity yourself. It's like you want to take down the black manosphere. You want to act like the black manosphere is dead. Black manosphere is not dead because one person says it's dead. I don't care who it is. Like, I mean, seriously, like, well, I mean, and I mean, y'all might say that I'm not showing respect to certain individuals, but hey, you know what? I'm a man at the end of the day. If you're being constantly disrespectful, maybe you need somebody to tell you that you need to try things another fucking way. I mean, that's better than trying to attack my sister. Think about it. I got a real sister too. I'll fuck you up for real over her. I mean, that is no question. I do, man. And I'm not even like one of those guys that's gonna shame you. Think about your mom. Think about your sister. Think about your auntie. Think about your wife when you talk about these women. Cause like I agree with 99.9% of that shit. Seriously. But everything ain't up for a fight. I don't have guns loaded, ready to fire at anything of the opposite gender to show, ready to show up. That's not productive. You really think you can produce without the opposite sex? Think again. You'll grow old and die alone and miserable. Lots of heterosexual men like seeing twerking butt cheeks and made sandwiches and companionship to watch movies and shit. Y'all talking, we having man conversations. Most man conversations I grew up with, we're always talking about women, whether they were look or they was bragging about some shit that they did. It's like, or like trying to teach brothers game, like, or what they call game. See, man, you got to do this, you got to do that. Like, yeah. It's like, when do you not involve women? Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. I mean, there's plenty of things I do without women. Like, I play video games. I can exercise without a woman. I can get my oil changed without a woman. You know what I'm saying? I can make money without a woman. But I don't want to do everything without a woman. Like, really sit there and think about that shit. You can say I'm putting on the cape for Sister George all you want, but the only one that really needs to put on the cape is Curlin. And I mean, like, he can interpret that how he wants, and then that's with all due respect. And speaking of that, some of y'all sitting up here yelling on this platform. Guess what they doing? They enjoying the pleasure of each other's company. I mean, it's not for me to throw their business out there or anything like that, but I'm sitting up here trying to make a point here. It's like that shit's stupid. Like, don't see, like, y'all, so niggas, like, people just need people to fight. It's like it can never be a peaceful fucking moment. There's always got to be a conflict. And what I thought was, and what I thought was, I thought we were the ones always complaining about women. Yeah. When am I going to talk about sports? When I watch sports, Taz. I mean, what sport you want to talk about? You want to talk about basketball? What do you want to do, man? Like, anyway, what's up? Thanks for dropping a comment anyway. Black Light Revelations, what's going on? Charles Gilmore 3. A lot of men want total control. A lot of men want total control over women. This is what it is. They want women in a woman's place. That is the gist of it. You read it wrong, brah. Okay, well, sorry about that. But I don't apologize for much either. I don't want total control over women. I don't want women shut down. I ain't shit. It's like you like with any fucking human being, you're gonna have to feel your decisions sooner or later. Like, seriously. And you can point the finger wherever you want. You're the only one that got to go through that shit. Like, honestly, niggas, I'm just saying, man. I mean, I've given this shit enough time. I've never said anything. I've been saying a lot of shit lately, but hey, you know what? I've never really gone on a campaign because I feel like it's a waste of my fucking time. Like, I ain't got time to sit up here and fuss with motherfuckers all the time. But shit, stop fucking with folks. Like, certain people, certain folks. I'll just say it. I'll just say that. Anyway, y'all know I'm with the shits. Sisters in the space. So I gotta get women being in the space anyway. I mean, I know some of them bitches are disruptive. I mean, some of them are purposely disruptive, and those are for reasons. Some of which are pretty fucking obvious. Like shit, some of them didn't. Sometimes things don't turn out the way people want in their life. So I run. I bez I simp energy rising. Okay, you got me wrong, bro. I mean, I've gotten to the point, really, honestly, where I feel like I can't satisfy anybody anyway. You know, I mean, shit. But it's like any argument that they bring over here to this space that is incoherent and stupid is easily defeatable. Why is it that you guys don't want to see that? I'm saying it like I said. I agree. I agree with most of what y'all saying, but it's like y'all got to try things another way. It's like that's all I'm saying. But if you just keep going the way y'all want to go, open this panel. Don't step up here with this bullshit. Shoot. Cry by the group, the group, the group. Women do not want to be controlled, just like men do not want to be controlled. I am down with men, but a lot of men want to change women, and women do not have the incentive to change. I don't know. I mean, I call human choice a hell of an incentive, though. I mean, shit. Don't get me wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong at all. I mean, I am not with the bullshit whatsoever. Like, I feel like if you are a black adult, you are accountable for whatever. Like say, like if you are a black adult, it is pretty fucking hard to point the finger. If you're a child that doesn't know any better, I'll probably more than likely give you a pass. Not too much because it's like if you're a child, somebody really needs to be there to point you in the right direction. But if you're an adult and you're sitting up here talking about, oh, black men are responsible, black women are responsible, like, okay, it's like as long as you have a good argument, it's cool. But if you just gonna sit out here and just throw jabs and insults and say what should be and what shouldn't be, I don't know. I mean, it's what the fuck is what it's whatever. So let me see. All right, brilliance. What's going on? Thanks. Whether you agree or disagree with whatever I'm saying, by all means, thank you for dropping your thoughts in the chat. I do appreciate all levels of participation, and you know, it's no hard feelings. For real, for real. I do not expect everyone to like any and everything I'm saying, and that's the beauty of it. So it's all good. But you know, I did come to this space with the idea of it being a productive space based on the names that I see, and you know, there's lots of big personalities, and I think that all of them should be given a chance to flourish. If it is a men's space, then men should lead and dominate it. I definitely agree with that, but you can't control who people watch. I mean, if you want to control who people watch, why don't you put your eyes on the people you think should have that torch? And it pretty seems pretty obvious to me who the crowd is choosing. That doesn't mean that it actually belongs to them, but these are not points that these are not points that I'm putting up. These are points that everyone else is putting up. That they're saying that whoever's giving, whoever everybody's giving the numbers to, and I understand that there might be feelings because of that. Not trying to shame anyone, but it seems that way to me. I mean, it's like some people are getting views, some people aren't. Some people might feel a certain way. I mean, but like I said, I can't like I speaking from my perspective, I'm grateful for anyone that watches. So like say like I see 39 people watching right now. It's like these guys are just important as if it were 390 or 3,900. It's like they got to be treated like the 39 million because those are the people who actually count. Those are the people that's going to always be there for you. And even if they got to take a break, YouTube ain't everybody. YouTube is not going to consume everybody's life like that. I just appreciate the fact that people are watching. I mean, it's cool. But what is the feeling of sisters being in this space? I mean, like, okay, I'll do this. I'll speak from the perspective of someone that's been in the space since late February, um, 2018, which would be almost 3 years. I'll speak from that perspective. I've been watching for quite some time, but as far as my participation in the space, which I would say would probably be over a year, and I was on YouTube for like 3 years. I'll speak from that perspective. But the point that I made earlier is just that I'm used to women being around. I mean, I know I've done a ton of broadcasts by myself. That's just what I did to establish the tone of this channel. But it's like, what's the deal? What's the deal? I mean, I don't want to, and like honestly, I don't want to hear all that, all that alphabet people shaming and stuff. But I don't know. Shoot, it's like strange shit going on around here. Charles Gilmore, three live streams get more views than pre-recorded videos. Let me tell you why that goes on. Because people who come in and out the stream, that counts as a view. So if my counter goes down to 39 and then it goes up to 42, then that's like 3+ views. That's just how it works. Um, what views do, however, with it, that's it's good that it's like that because it gets your video in the algorithm. Shoot, so all right, just 1 second. Pre-record and then anyway, if you start to get a dedicated audience, which doing a bunch of one thing I do notice about pre-records is pre-records are quite risky. What up, Hammer? What's going on? One thing I understand is like one thing I did was I did get this audience that I have or my subscribers used to me doing uploads and pre-records. So my pre-records get okay views plus the spin that I put on them as well that I feel that I do. But sooner or later, if I am to grow this channel, and if we keep growing the way we do, we might have to start facing it. We might have to bring in other people for things like editing and such. And I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's like I have fun with the little editing I do anyway, and I do want to get into more editing tools. But the thing is just sitting down and just making the time to do it. Uh, so, Hammer,
How you doing, bro?
what's going on, man? See you rocking on your channel over there, man. This is I just want to say good job, man. Your consistency seems to be paying off.
Yeah, man. A lot of people have been coming through lately. I think I had shout out to Roger Report because he was there on the show. So shout out to him and guys here in the Idmore space in the you know But yeah, I just wanted to hop on and talk about the topic. And what I'm gonna say is this, right? Um, Even on my channel, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm a brother who's in a Gen Z brother who's in college, majoring in computer science. Maybe that's why. But it seems like a lot of chicks, a lot of young women, black women, are just they show up my channel. I'll go live with dudes, and then I'll have chicks, call my channel. I don't know why. Today we had this guy from the UK locked on, and so I don't get it. But I believe the reason why so many females are entering the space is that the environment is changing. I tell guys all the time, look, you know, whether or not the black community in America or ADOS survives, um, it's gonna be really dependent on what guys my age group do, guys who are Gen Z and below, as the guys coming up with. Because yes, as of now, the majority of black men are marrying to black women. But here's the thing: if you look deeper into those numbers, those are mainly black men who are what Gen X, Boomers, guys who are the older generation. But when you look at the younger generation, these brothers, right? 50% of Gen Z dudes are dating out. So by 2030, when Gen Z occupies the majority of the prime dating market, we're going to be in a very different situation. And also keep in mind that just just today, I was saying online, they recently released some news data from the 2020 census, and what they found out is that white minority is actually going to come closer in the next 10 to 20 years. White people are going to be the minority. So we're entering a phase now where the upper coming generation of black men in the next 10 years, the Gen Z boys, almost more than half of them are going to be dating out and probably marrying out. Then they're going to be living in a time where white people are not even going to be are not even going to be the majority, right? So the issue of the white man may not be as prevalent. I'm like, I think, and also because of the way the economy is going, America is heading on the path in which we may have a similar situation here, like what's going in Greece, right? An economic crisis. I'm like, right now in Greece, you got chicks with PhDs who are from the pussy. This is also the reason why you're seeing the vice president Kamala Harris talking about how she wants to legalize prostitution. Where is that coming from? Because they understand. Look, we know that the way things are going, a lot of people are going to be out here, selling it, right? On the side. So we're going to make sure that the government, Uncle Sam, gets a cut of it. And that's why when BGS made that video about the diesel era, when I thought about it, what he doesn't make sense. What he's saying makes sense. That's where we're going. And I think what's going on now, I think why there's so many black women now coming to the space, because they're starting to realize that the environment is changing. Yes, they may be able to hold guilt and race over quote unquote black men who are Gen X, Boomers, the guys who will be just in most age, but they're starting to realize that in addition to the environment changing and quote unquote even the they're losing the proxy power to the greater white society, because the greater white society is not going to be here. And also on top of that, they're seeing how they're losing more and more of the men, especially in the younger generation. Look, black men are doing better than they ever have. 64% of black men in America are in the middle class. 50% of black men in America are essentially childless, and not married. So my thing is, a lot of these chicks, they're not here because they actually want to come back to the table. They're here because they have no choice. Anyway, go ahead, man. That's
Say
mine.
no choice.
Yep, they have no choice, man. I'm like, where are they going to go?
Hey, hey, you know what though? Hey, you know what though? Cortez Smith says you're very patient with those feminists.
Yeah,
Is that what you're doing is smart?
yeah, man. And the reason why I don't know why I attract so much females on my channel. They come to me a lot. I think it's because I'm a younger dude. Right? For example, right? Guys like you and BGS, because you guys are older, a lot of chicks can just say, "Oh, these are older black men. They're just being, angry." But when
Yeah,
they have
yeah.
someone like me,
I have to accept. I have to accept the label. 40 plus is old these days, so, so I'm
but
cool
but
with
yeah, but the thing is, but then when they see someone like me, a brother who's 19 years old, sophomore in college, major in computer science, have a bright future ahead, I'm saying the same shit. Then see, at that point, they can no longer say it's just older dudes saying the same thing.
it. Yeah,
And I
cause
think
you're the incoming. You the incoming. I mean, shit. If more incoming thought like you, then it's like there's a motherfucking problem. So they gotta try to communicate with y'all any way you can, because if they let y'all slip by, then you got the younger ones coming in, and then they gonna be like, fuck that shit too. So y'all. I mean, the younger crowd has way less patience. Got older guys like me, we have somewhat optimism, but I'm also a realist as well. It's like a lot of these motherfuckers out here just plain fucked up. So I do understand the ramifications of bringing females around, and I do understand why some guys feel the way they feel, because they'll stoop to a lot of levels, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like they're cool ones too. And if you are and I'm saying this as a heterosexual. If you're a heterosexual, you're gonna want to deal with women. That's just how it is. It's like my goal isn't to be at war with women, because that doesn't even have a good ring to it. is my goal is to give a black man's perspective, especially me being a father right now, because she's very, very young. I don't want her impacted by the bullshit. Yeah, so I want to affect change wherever I can on a sub social level. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people don't give much credibility to platforms such as these, because we're to them, we're regular people talking. We didn't have that mainstream contract come at us, but we're everyone else. We're the most relatable, and this right here is about to go mainstream, believe it or not. And there are some people out there that are just afraid of the change itself, and we need to embrace it. If we're any kind of men, we adapt, we evolve, we take that
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker over. It's not anything and I don't understand why men act like that. It's not anything that's in any of our control, because it very well is. You know, you being one of the examples from what I see.
And what I will say, guys, brothers, this was always the plan. For example, there are a lot of guys, right? And folks may be surprised when they say this, but there are a lot of dudes who watch this tape and they never comment, they never say a word, they just watch. That was me. When I first found out the manosphere, I found out about the manosphere when I was in middle school. So that was like, what, 5 years ago? So I've never commented once throughout my entire 5 years. Just watch and be honest. It wasn't real until last year I started to get more involved. But I think that's the reason why I'm getting so many young guys on our show. But there are a lot of young brothers who watch these shows and don't say anything. Just watch. But here's the thing. What these ladies do to a sense, look, the manosphere is not the reason why Gen Z boys are doing this. The manosphere is because the manosphere is just a reflection of what guys have been saying in the quote unquote in the barbershop and the basketball court. The reason why these Gen Z are doing what they're doing is because of what they're seeing on social media, what they're seeing on Sistas. See, during the time of BGS, of Edward Anderson, they didn't have access to social media like that. So a lot of the things that happened, they couldn't really understand it, right? It took them years and years to really see these things. We're growing up in an era where a guy like me, when I was in middle school, I can open on my phone, I can see videos of wolf or hip hop, I can see all the craziness. So what took 16 or maybe 20 years for guys, in the older generation to figure out, dudes my age can figure out in like 2 seconds. We can see online. We can see all the craziness, right? And also, during the time where quote unquote the society is moving more towards trying to absorb the black population into the United States, it just creates this insane paradigm shift. Now, somebody asked me, can these young black girls change? Because I've said before that these Gen Z black girls are going to suffer. If you're a brother right now and you have a daughter who's Gen Z, you better pray for her because they're going to be dealing with dudes who are just not going to give a fuck. See, when it came to the older generation, right, BCS, these are guys who will play with them, talk to them. Guys who are Gen Z and up and coming, they're not giving a fuck, man. If a chick is overweight, if she got attitude, okay, well, I got this Latin chick over here to be with me. You know what I'm saying? So they're not gonna be used to that. And I think that's the reason why you got older chicks who will come in because they're seeing the environment, and you got younger chicks who will come because they don't want to end up like the older chicks. And I think it's this thing of look, us going mainstream was always going to happen, right? Because as the environment changed, you're going to see more women in here. The question is, now that they're here, what are we going to do with them? Anyway.
Hey man, Judge Drake, he said I'm not going on Hammer Show anymore. LOL, man. What happened, man?
Yeah, he just joking. Bro, Judge, I was about Judge, right? So Judge was on my show today, right? And
Yeah,
we were having a show about quote unquote are foreign women better, right? And he came on, we had a good conversation, right? I don't know what it is about Judge Dre. Whenever Judge Dre comes to my show, all the females want to come and argue with him. Him and I, we say the same thing, but I think because Judge is so like he's so tough about it, he triggers females. I don't I don't know why. Like for example, right? If I am on the, I think because I'm young, I think a lot of chicks are much more comfortable talking to me because me and Judge say the exact same thing. But I think it's what we say. So for me, right, I'm a young dude, so I'm much more calm and relaxed. So a lot of chicks will feel more comfortable talking to me, even though I say exactly the same thing. When it comes to Judge, he just like he goes home and blogs. He so that was crazy. And so they will be cut, bruh. We had like 6 people on the panel, and all the chicks in the chat were just cussing out Judge. I'm like, why does this guy bother you so much? So anyway, that's what happened. Yeah,
I mean, it makes for interesting television.
yeah,
Well,
man.
yeah, that's our judge. Yeah, yeah.
And I
Well,
love Judge, man. He's a cool dude. He's a cool dude.
yeah, and he owns his shit. That's one thing I can admire. You know, people still want to tear him down for it, but I mean, what can you say? He owns his shit. I mean,
Yeah,
oh shit. Speak of the. Oh shit.
yeah.
Speak of the. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Speak.
Uh
Hmm.
oh.
No.
Who we got here? What's up, Judge?
Well, as you see, for the first time, I'm actually at home.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
ain't gonna lie. I thought about going back to work, but
Mm.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I want this money, man. But uh, but like I said, I ain't going. Don't go to Hammer Show no more, man. I'm just sorry. It's like, oh, you got to tackle the bimbos over there, man. If you ever
Hey,
notice, if you ever notice, they sit up here. Well, see, that's the problem. We don't like how mean he is. So I was like, wait a minute. If you also notice, I may be direct, but I don't attack first. Y'all make a comment first, and I just pounce back.
yeah,
See,
I
I
know.
think that what.
Yeah, and just I get that. My thing is that I think that because I'm much more like I don't because I'm much more younger and I seem more docile. I think they perceive it different. I think that's what's going on. I think that's why. But it's like, dude, man, just you being on the panel should be getting mad. I don't get it, man. I don't know.
No.
But you know what?
I,
These
they're
are
attracted
these
to
are
they're attracted to the confidence. I think that's really what
yes,
it is. A lot
yes,
of times, because I ain't gonna lie, when I try to be nice and docile, women hate me. When I be myself, they love me. They might sit up here and say that they hate me, but I just trust me. And well, unfortunately, you see my child support orders, so there goes the show. I
yeah,
mean,
man.
they actually like that.
Yeah.
But
I think it is a confidence, and that's why I tell people, man, just go. You don't have to go to all that crap. Just be yourself. I mean, that way you don't have to put on no front. I mean, it's too much work putting on the front.
yeah, man.
That's too much work and energy.
Unfortunately, Smurgo. Shout out to Smurgo, by the way. Also, teacher to me. Please try to watch the all caps. I don't want YouTube sending in the troops. So,
Wait, they can get you for all cats now?
I mean, I take every precaution possible on this channel.
Wow.
Because
All caps?
it's
Yeah.
people with the shits. I mean, and it's stupid shit. But at the
The
end of the day, it's stupid shit. But
the
still.
running shit or the exploding shit? No.
But let me read Spurgo's comment. He said, "Unfortunately, you guys have to understand that at the end of the day, black men are extremely gynocentric. What black man in the manosphere considers red pill is actually just a little less gynocentric." Mm.
Oh my gosh, whatever.
I mean, but still, commentary like that still just has a tendency to make women the default lead. And it's the same thing when I hear people speak of Jessica X and Sister George. Like when people speak of that, they make them the default lead. And I mean, you can quantify that by the numbers that they do or the validation they have gotten from men in the space. But it's like this: it's almost like when black folks put white people in the lead just because they white. Just because they feel a certain way. It's like just because you feel a certain way about certain, men accepting women, you want to put women in the lead as to insult those men and to tell those men that they have no capability of, leading or, just because you feel some kind of way about women being around, you want to say that those men are submitting to them. And yes, that is kind of insulting and demoralizing to the men to try to, to use women in such a petty way to address men. What I don't get is why are men fussing with other men about women instead of talking to men like men?
Mm.
Okay, I'll tell you like this. The only thing that the only thing that bothers me about the whole thing. Oh God, I saw another job coming. Only thing that bothers me about the whole thing is this: I have no problem with women in this space. Well, all I'm saying is this: if
I mean,
you want, but listen, let me finish so it don't sound bad. I'm gonna let you know like this. You ever want to piss me off as the male content creator? If the broad come out and she say some suspect shit or she throw a damn shot out there and then I clap back and then while she was throwing her shot and then it's my turn to speak, you didn't say shit. You better shut the fuck up while I'm speaking because I got a problem with that. I got a problem. See, I look at the men. Well, hey, it was okay 30 seconds ago. You didn't say shit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm one of those ones in public where you want to start a fight with me quick and end our friendship. While this bitch was running her mouth, screaming and talking, yelling loud, you didn't say shit. Now, when I knocked her fucking ass out, don't say shit to me. Because if you wanted the shit to stop, you should have spoke then. No, so I'm like, don't get mad when I clap back because it's just a normal response. And I got a problem because I've seen that's happened a lot in this space. Hey, if you can dish the shit out, you can take it. Like if you notice, I was on your show Hammer. They played plenty of bad, sarcastic comments about me. Did I take it to heart? Was I whining to you, saying, "Hey man, you need to stop them from talking about me"? No, I just cracked back.
You were hard, man. They were crying, bro. She dropped
Well,
twice
no,
on
it's
the pen.
well, it's not the fact that, but she was throwing insults first. So I'm like, okay, fine. I told her I'm gonna be nice. I let her get a couple off. I told her, I said,
Yeah.
no offense. I'll break you down. I ain't gonna lie, man. I've broken some people down so bad. I try not to do that no more. Like I even told you, Hammer. I said I don't try to do that no more. I broke one girl. I remember this one time I broke this girl down so bad that I saw that woman 7 years later, and I apologized to her. Like every time I bump into her, I still apologize to her to this day because I
Wow.
remember how bad I was. I'm like, man, I ain't even gonna lie. I broke you down so bad that shit. I like if she was like, "Hey, Dre, give me 10 grand," I just call and give it to her because it's just like I broke her down that bad. I mean, shit, I shouldn't have said that on air. She might call my ass tomorrow, but I mean, it's just that bad. I'm like, she deserved it. Yeah, because I mean, what's so bad? I didn't hit her or nothing, but it's like she tried to dog me, and like I said, as soon as you try to insult me, then I feel okay, fine. You want to crack? I'm good at that.
But you know what, Judge? The funny part is this, right? She wanted to come up and she wanted to make the argument that black men like obese women. That she said that's what black men wanted. And we were
Right,
telling her that's not true, and she was like, "That's
right,
not no. Y'all want chicks who are
right,
200 pounds? Like what? Oh my
right.
god, that was
Right.
All right, guys. All right, guys. This is okay. We got Simp Man up here. Okay, this is what the hell. Uh,
Shit, man.
all right, guys. Speak your piece, bro.
Go ahead,
Uh,
man.
go ahead, Simp Man. Like I want to hear this.
Go ahead, Saint man.
Simp
You
Man.
got the
Wow.
flow.
Dre, I do not
Go.
like you. I do not like what you stand for. You
Mm-hmm.
always over here brutally disrespecting our women.
Okay,
What
keep
is
on.
what?
wrong with you?
I'm honest.
You are not honest. You are disrespectful.
Okay, I might. Listen. I can agree. I can probably be disrespectful. I'm not going to be disrespectful usually after somebody disrespects me, though. I can definitely agree that I can be disrespectful at times. I mean, I know myself. and I know of what people have told about me. Like when you say, "Hey, Dre, man, you kind of hit them hard," I know that. I mean, for me to decide to sit up here and say I don't hit them hard would be a lie. And you know that's one thing I
Why?
stand on, no lie. Hey, I figure if you
Why
can dish
though?
the shit. Oh, the reason why this, if you can dish it out, you can take it. I don't. This is fact is this. You don't hear me crying because somebody disrespected me. I figured if that's the type of energy you like and you okay with it. I mean, if you throwing stones, I'm pretty sure you ain't living in no glass house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind stones
But
being thrown. I don't mind. You can throw stones. I
Well,
don't mind.
but see, here's the thing, and I've always repeatedly said this, y'all is like people act like y'all don't want to let the female say complete sentences. Y'all just like, what good is it? Like if three, like, and I've always said this, you can debunk all the talking points you want, but what good is it when 3 or 4 people are trying to talk at the same time to the
That's
audience?
true. That's true. That's true. Hey, but it's
is
entertaining
that?
though.
Yeah. No, it's not entertaining. You gotta let the woman speak. You have
What?
to let them speak.
You have to let
But
them
yeah,
speak.
well, here's the thing. If they're saying things in common sense, then yeah. But if they're just trying to lie, I'm like,
I
ain't no
mean,
way.
anybody. Let me ask y'all a question. If
Yeah.
someone is purposely disrailing the conversation, doesn't matter what gender they are. Let's put it like that.
No.
All right.
But
So it's like it is when and I asked this question before. When do you make decision that they're just up there to disrupt the conversation? After they say 5 words, after they say one sentence, after they say 2 sentences, like it's got to be a guideline. You know.
well, what I would say is this: from a content creator perspective, it depends on the calculation. If you think that having this person on the panel will make things more entertaining, that's what some guys do. That's why some panels in the news will go crazy. They'll have some crazy guy hop on and say something because they know that as soon as he starts running his mouth, folks in the panel will be like, "Oh my god!" All of a sudden, everybody's engaged, right? Then when it gets too much, they'll just like drop the other person out. But if I'm not trying to do it, I'll just block it. So it depends on what you want, but man, bruh, black men and the manosphere have figured out a trick. Or if you have a stream, right, and you have like 20 viewers, once a female hops on, 50, bro. That shit drops. I don't know what it is. Like, yo, a lot of dudes will complain about females in this space, but then it's like when the chicks show up, everybody's there. And that's the reason why a lot of times you will have folks like Ocean B. Jackson or others cuss you guys out. I'm like, you guys are saying one thing. Now, Judge, you're different because you're actually serious. You don't like these shit, but a lot of dudes, they'll say like, oh my God, I don't want women on the panels, but like, y'all will be over there with Jessica X with like 700 like watch like it's a crazy shit, bro. Anyway, go ahead.
But
Oh, so
why?
what you're saying the same? So what you're saying is the same guys that sit up there and talk about women coming up to panels and be the same guy over there at Jessica X's street.
Yes. Oh my God, bro. There was
Now
this
here's the
dude.
question:
Crazy.
Here's the question: Have you seen me over there at Jessica Esther's show?
I ain't saying I've
I'm just
seen
no,
you.
but no, I
Like
know that
And
you.
you're not.
I'm at that hammer that. Have you seen
I
me
mean,
over there?
like I'm sub, but it ain't like I be over there on Jessica X's stream.
Okay,
But it's like
all right.
for some reason I hear a lot about Jessica X's stream for some of the other people in the space. Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
those.
Jessica X
but they're
this,
all
Jessica X
hypocrites.
that.
They're all hypocrites because now Judge Ray is real. He's a guy who I know like what he says he means. But let's be honest here, bro. The reason Jessica X, right, and the reason why you guys girls like Every Woodley, because let's be honest here, they know all you
Hold
gotta
on.
do is who look good, say some magic talking points, niggas will be over there. We know this is true, man. Come on, bro.
Don't talk about my brothers. My brothers be over there. All my friends, we all over there.
I don't.
What are you saying?
I'm not gonna lie. The reason why I don't frequent the Jessica X show. No, I'm gonna be good. So go ahead. So
Uh,
let's go to somebody else.
but you know what? There was this dude, right? I'm not gonna name names, but when I first started having chicks on the panel, because for me, my platform is to tell these younger blacks as well. These Gen Z boys are not giving a fuck. So a lot of the patience you'll get from like dudes who are older, like BCS, we're not doing that. I had this
Mhm.
one thing, and you had all these guys like, oh my God, Heather, you're a slip. Oh my God, right? And then the next day, all those niggas are over there with just like an X. I was
Mhm.
so fucking mad, but anyway, I was like, you know what?
Well, I'm
Ever
not going. Well, okay. I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible.
since,
Um, the reason why I don't frequent that space right there is because my radar goes off. You know, remember I told you my radar goes off because, baby, I knew these people before they started the show, and no offense, Kevin will tell you. Like name one person that's come on this show that I've read wrong. You can't name one.
Yeah.
Me.
I mean, I'm very good at reading people, and I know 2 or 3 things that I've never said yet, and I'm just gonna wait for it to come out and happen, and then just remember.
But here's one thing I will say though: you can't take the stream from the male host trying to go at a female. That's one of the things that, when I say stuff like that, that's one of the things that I think about. It's like the second, like, it really pisses me off when someone says, "Oh, y'all sit over here defending these females." It's like, I'm like, go sing a fucking rock song. All I'm saying is like, why don't you? I understand you're trying to say what you're going to say, but why don't you give a chance for the host to speak for a little bit? It's like the problem I have is when you have 8 other dudes, 1 female, and the host try to say something, and everybody want to speak, and it's just like it just becomes like a fucking circus. And that's all I'm trying to say. Is like when and I know a lot of y'all you hear stuff when you hear when I say stuff like hey guys, and motherfuckers still it gets annoying as fuck, and then and people want to try to dismiss that as saving females, which is ridiculous. So I have to literally explain this word for word that sometimes the host likes to speak also. It's not that I'm trying to stop you from speaking. It's just that let me go get my 2 sentences in and you do whatever you need to do. But at the same time, I'm not going to have a space where it's just going to be niggas talking about females and females can't come in and say nothing. Because they do that shit in like them other little spaces, them little black man hate spaces. They'll sit up there and say that same dumb shit all day to each other, and they won't let black men at least come up and try to speak our piece. It's like I have no interest in stepping up to any of those spaces and saying any of that shit because it'll go nowhere. But I don't want to catch myself acting like them.
Well, I don't have no problem with them coming as long as like this is. If you speak out of line and say some foul suspect shit, don't make no fucking. It's basically like this is. Like say if me and Hammer got into it right now, and I'd be like, yeah, man, fuck you, nigga. I ain't even worried about your weak ass, this, that, and the other. I don't want you to be like, well, Dre, man, you have to call that nigga a nigga. You know what I mean? But we like plain and simple. As soon as don't do no special treatment. As long as you don't do no special treatment, I'm fine. Like, then I'm like, wait a minute, this motherfucker guessed in the space when you really think about it anyway, and then don't get special treatment. That's what gives me a problem.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that special treatment though. Like them coming around one time every 6 months versus you being here every other broadcast. Now, if they come here and it's like everybody's trying to attack her. Wait.
I mean like this. Say they come. Say she comes here and be like, yeah, that's why y'all dusty ass niggas ain't shit. And then when it's my turn to speak, and I'm like, yeah, that's why this fat ass bitch don't know what the fuck she talking about, this, that, and the other. You be like, man, you didn't have to call her a bitch. Well, wait a minute. She threw the first insult already. You didn't say shit when she was calling us an insult. So I'm saying is you go ahead and take a back seat too when I throw my insult out there. Basically, I don't insult unless somebody insult first. So I'm playing. This is the problem. What I say is this, especially in our space over here, you cannot let them do the insults without being an insult thrown back, because basically what it shows the audience is, hey, you see how women try to basically like this. They done took over the barbershops. They done took over this. They took over daytime. Basically saying like this. Wait a minute. As soon as we come in here, the rules change. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Hold up, guy. What I just said was them showing up one time.
No, I'm not about them showing up.
Like honestly, dude, for real. Like this breaks for a second. I just got through saying is like most of the time, y'all come on these panels with these females, and you won't let the host speak. The
Well,
host
we
is
got
a
past that. I heard
male,
that.
a man. It's like you're arguing with a man.
Wait a minute, Kevin, you're a guy? You're a guy?
Yeah, you goddamn right. You
You
goddamn right,
are?
motherfucker.
Oh, hell no, man.
That should never.
Man. No, fuck that bullshit. I
That
thought
should
this was
never
a
ever
Transformer
motherfucking be a
show.
question.
No,
But
man.
what I'm saying is, you thought it was Transformer show? That sounds like some bullshit that little devil worship says. So
Hey, you ought to time him out, kid. Time him out, kid, for that shit.
I mean, so,
Put him on mute.
yeah, like, but like I said, man, is that simple? It's like one thing that you motherfuckers got to understand is that is at the end of the day, the host of the show runs the damn show. Period. And if that means that you got to sit through 2 sentences from a person that you don't want to hear talk, then that's how it is. You get plenty of time to talk. You're talk when the motherfucker ain't here. So why is it that you got to invade that time?
I feel like you hurt my feelings, and I feel disrespected, and you always.
Hey, you know what though?
Hold on,
doing that shit. Like, come on, guy. Like,
Dre, you be on there with your feelings.
Hey, I'm all I'm saying. It's like you, and then like just like I said, I'm trying to say something. You doing your little bullshit through everything that I'm saying.
I was joking with you. I was listening to you. I can do 2 things.
Niggas be joking, man. Okay, I got you.
I got you, man. I can do 2. I can listen. Right. Listen, I can comprehend. I know exactly where you're going. I can comprehend and joke at the same time.
She, you got the flow. You got the flow.
Let me come in real quick. Cause but this the problem, Drake. When it come down to it, Kev is saying this. Don't kick the damn chair. You are a habitual line stepper when it comes to kicking the chair. Let these women speak because they're gonna stumble over their own damn words and they're gonna make us look like kings and they're gonna make them look like shit. See, this the whole point. When you start coming at them, badgering the witness, it makes you look like the bad lawyer that's coming in here trying to steer them wrong versus letting them fall off the goddamn cliff by themselves and say, help. And you be like, nah, you did the shit to yourself.
No.
But I like kicking the chair. I got boots.
But here's what I'm getting tired of niggas doing, though. Is like, oh, y'all came for these bitches. Seriously? y'all came for these bitches. Not like, no, we're not. Like, no, we're not. Like, watch some of the other shit that I've done. I do anything but cake for these bitches. But it's like I said, okay. If women came around all the time and it was a regular debate and they were comfortable coming here, then it'll be cool. You know, I understand the debate then. But it's like you got to at least let them get 2 sentences out. I mean, if they what insult? Okay, let's define insult. You know, Drake. Let's me and you define insult. Real quick.
No, the only time I figure an insult like this is plain and simple. Some people talk with cuss words. I don't consider a cuss word an insult. Like a lot of people go false-sided at this. When they come and use derogatory terms that we know that, like, say, the women use to discredit us, like, oh, these dusty or these broke-ass niggas, stuff like that, those is when it's basically like that. That's what, in fact, is this. If that's in your normal, everyday speech pattern, then no offense, when I do my answer, I'm going to say, I'm just that type of person. I'm going to pop something back. And I may not go, like, full-grown nuclear, but, you know, because you see, I normally let them get 2 or 3 off before I give them a taste of mine. I don't just jump right on them. I mean, you might say, I think maybe because I'm better with talking to people when I used to be a salesman. Remember, I got the 3 worst jobs. I was a salesman for over 5+ years. I was an auditor. So basically, you can tell auditors, you checking people, finding out when they lying, all that other bullshit. And then I wrote loans. Worst 3 jobs to have when it comes to reading people. You like literally, when a person walk in and sit down, within 1 minute, you already know who they are. Worst 3 jobs to have, because you will learn, like, ask somebody like Kevin Samuels, because he tell you he's been in corporate. You learn to read people so quick it ain't funny. And, you know, like, you can talk about what they say, what they didn't say, what they admitted, how long it took them to answer. I mean, you can just tell by all of those answers. I mean, when we're fighting people stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars, you already know. When you ask a question, I ask you a question.
Let me ask you a question. What are women? Okay, let me ask you a question. What are women stopping y'all from getting done in this space?
No, they ain't stopping me from doing shit.
No. I'm just asking because it's like we have such a problem. Like, Smurgo says, no, Kev, women shouldn't have a voice here. It's like, no, they shouldn't be able to say, they shouldn't be able to have they shouldn't be able to come on your panel and say 2 sentences. What are women keeping us from doing? What are women keeping us from doing in this space right now? What are they keeping us from doing? No. That's a serious ass fucking question. It's like, one thing that black people have to get used to sooner or later is answering serious questions. What are women keeping us from doing in this space?
They can talk. Long as they, I'm
not. It's not even so much to talk though. It's like if they appear, they're keeping us from doing something. I understand that there are things that happened in the past, like there was a tremendous channel flagging type deal. People were getting their channels taken down. It was like casualties, channels dropping left and right. I understand that things got that dirty. And people don't want it to get that dirty again. But the thing is, we're going to have to face this one constant right here, that when females run channels and they got a lot of energy going into them shits, that they're going to get an audience anyway. Doesn't matter if it's a Black Manosphere audience or not.
Why don't you come up here? Why don't you come up here on the panel? He said women ought to be seen, not heard. I want to hear this man talk. Why don't you come up here?
I'm not talking about. Oh God. Okay. Well.
Let him come up here.
Thanks for making that decision, Dre.
I'm sorry
for the good of the channel. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. What are women stopping you from doing in this space? It's like, I didn't ask a woman if I could come on and do this broadcast tonight. I didn't ask a woman to create this YouTube channel. I didn't ask a woman for any fucking thing. What are women stopping y'all from doing? It's like, why do y'all get so mad with like channels like Rogers? Like, I just want to see this because, like I said, I already told y'all this story. When myself and Roger Dunning, when we had nobody watching us, there were women coming around anyway. It was just commonplace. It just was. So it's like this. Are we going to lay out some kind of manosphere bylaws or something like, oh, well, we should be able to handle and juggle women around how we want, man? Because it's like, I didn't know we owned people. Like, I thought that was slaves that did that slavery shit. I didn't know we owned folks. Like, they don't own me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just jibber jabbering. All right, Hammer, what's up, man?
Charles, you didn't answer the question, man. You deflecting now?
What deflection? What deflection?
Charles, I'll just mess with Charles because it look like he on the porno site. He didn't answer the question.
I'm on the brother's side. But y'all gotta understand. It's like I'm not here to agree with you 100%. I'm not anybody. It's not even Sheed. I'm not here to agree with Sheed 100%. I'm not trying to get. Okay, well, let me put it in a better context. I'm not here to get Sheed to agree with me 100%.
Yep.
Honestly,
and also got another thing. It's like, one thing I hate, and that's why I understand what Kevin is coming from. When you're a content creator in the Black Manosphere, right, and you have all these guys in the chat who want to act all red pill, all manosphere, but then these things do this, so it gets kind of hold on.
What you got? The police knocking at your door, man?
Mm-hmm. Big old knock.
Tell her you coming straight from the underground. Don't say that shit. We don't want you to get. We don't want to get
started tonight. Hold on, Dre.
We got 2 new people up here. We got Raw L. We got Smurgo. Raw L, Smurgo. If Raw L's not ready, Smurgo can go.
Let
whatever.
Smurgo go.
Let Smurgo go first. You got 5.
Smurgo go first.
All right,
I'm going last.
What was the question?
What are women stopping y'all from doing in this space?
I mean, it's not necessarily that they're stopping anything. Like, well, you gotta understand when Roger started having like a lot of women on his panels. Look what happened. His old channel got nuked. Like, so I mean, you can say, oh, he can just make a new channel, but it's obviously a correlation to it.
Okay.
It's not a coincidence that his channel just happened to bomb as soon as he started having more women on his panels.
Okay.
And
Smirgo,
like, yeah,
you know, a man flagged this channel.
men flag
So
this
what?
channel.
They
Yeah, what
admitted
would you
to it.
say to that? Yeah.
Okay,
Up.
well that's
Talking
fine.
points. Talk. Come on, give me some more talking points. Come on, let's go.
Well, that's fine. Well,
Okay.
I'm just saying this. Okay, so specifically, it has nothing to do with YouTube. This just goes into this is what I said earlier, that black men are just too gynocentric to even understand the concept of patriarchy. Women shouldn't have a voice, especially not in male spaces. That's just how. In what spaces have women in traditional patriarchal male spaces? Women just don't have a voice, and with black men just don't have a concept of that, and that's fine. I mean that, especially not with American black men. That's just something that's unheard of.
So
So
Bro,
I
you
want to ask
might
you.
look,
go
we
ahead,
have.
ask.
We're talking
Hammer,
about.
you can go ahead, Hammer.
Yeah, we're talking about a media space on YouTube. But like, come on, bro. And let's be honest here.
You said you
99%.
talking about a media space?
Well, I'm like, the Black Metal is a media space still on YouTube. We're
Yeah,
like our own
yeah,
places.
yeah. It is
So,
a media space. Yeah, it's
so might as
possible to
well.
keep women out of it.
I get that, but look, 99% of the time, it's just us on these panels. There's no female here. So when we do get a woman top of the panel, right, we want to make sure we let them hang themselves. That's the whole point. But you guys make it hard when you guys try to
That's just a
fight.
form of negotiation.
Let me tell you like this. Let me tell you like
That's a
this.
Oh that shit.
Let me tell you something real quick. Real quick. Let me tell you something. Yeah, I do feel like that there are I do feel like that there are a great balance of male and female here. Females barely show up to this channel, so this conversation is completely about my choice. And notice that there's an all male panel up here. Irv just showed up, but
Mhm.
it is like I said earlier. Do you think that if I fully relied on a completely male viewership, that you know, if I fully relied on a completely male viewership, that this channel will grow and prosper?
Probably not.
No.
Okay. Well, I get it
I
from
mean,
that. I get
it's
it from
got
that perspective. The perspective, like if you're
not to say that
just
I'm using females or anything like that,
oh
but
no, that's fine. If you are, that's fine. I get it. If you're going from that, like you just want to grow your channel, have a YouTube channel, just have conversations. Because this specifically, I wouldn't really consider this a straight up red pill channel anyway. You
okay.
know? Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean,
But
it's
what
cool
what
and
I
what
mean,
everything. It's a
classifies it
general.
to be a
It's
red pill channel though?
you can say whatever pill you want. I mean, about this channel, it's like it doesn't bother me whatever your opinion is, because everybody's opinion is not going to be the same across the board. So I do respect opinions. So it's like I'm
yeah.
not
That's not.
here.
That's not. That wasn't like a dig or anything. Like
I'm,
it's just like
I'm
you
not
just.
here
Yeah.
to get off Hitler.
I
But
I'm
I
mean,
not.
just
it's
want to know
like.
what
I
is a
mean, it's
red pill channel though, Smirgo?
a
What is a
red
red
pill
pill?
channel is this is to understand that women have a place and they need to stay in it.
So women don't.
And
He doesn't display that on this channel.
I mean, yeah, but
Whoa! You just said it's not a red pill channel. So you get. Come on now.
yeah, but he.
Don't deflect.
Okay,
You got to give one or the other. You got to give a precise answer because that's what men do. Because otherwise, you're gonna be getting your feelings.
nah, I'm not getting my feelings. Hey,
I mean,
how do I word
it's
this?
cool. It's cool. I mean, like I said, is Sister George is from a sister aspect and not oh my God, we got to say these black women aspect, because we've known her and it's like I said, we were already used to women coming on our panels anyway. It's just that in the growth process, women weren't coming around and guys were coming around. There is a pretty good balance of guys and females here. Females don't show up every panel. They don't. They don't. And Drake, when they do show up, I mean, if they're saying like we're not getting the crazy black men are dusty, black men are failure bitches. We're not getting those.
Not
So
anymore.
I mean, when have we ever gotten them on this channel? When have
In the
we ever gotten
beginning, you
those?
did.
In the beginning, when did I get
when
a
it
black
was
man?
only a couple of us. When it was only a couple of us. But I mean, like, no, it's not a. Listen, the problem that I speak of is not a run rant problem with your channel or Rogers, okay? But I've seen it with other smaller channels. So that's all. I brought the statement up, not referring to you, but I see where these people are coming from with their opinion on that. But like with him, to say that they can't come, period, I think that that's a little too extreme. Like, it's content creators I hate. But for me to sit up here and say that they, even though say I don't like this motherfucker and I would love to beat the shit out of him, but for me to sit up here and be like, Kevin, man, you shouldn't allow that motherfucker on your show.
But
I
look,
don't have the nerve to say that.
it's not about liking or disliking women or anything like that. So you come from a perspective that you don't have. You say, okay, this certain person should have come on this channel because I don't like them, or they should. That's not the point. Like, the
I
point is
understand where
that,
you're coming from. I understand.
yeah, it's just like it's a space for women, and this just isn't it. Well, I'm not saying
Well,
that Cass specifically, but I'm just saying, like, when it's something that's supposed to be the red pill manosphere or what, like the manosphere in general, whatever. There's just certain places that women shouldn't have a
Okay.
platform or a
But
voice or anything.
okay.
that's
Let
what
me
I'm
ask you
trying to
this question.
get you to
Let me ask you
understand.
this question.
Classify it.
Now, but here's the question. How about this? They can come, but they can't make no rules. They don't set no rules. They follow the rules that we set.
You know what though?
Well, look,
I do
well,
kind
you
of
can
want
say that. You can say that, right? But then rules are made to cater to the women. So, like, on other channels, it would be like, oh, well, woman come up on the panel, you gotta let her speak. You gotta, everybody gotta drop from the panel
I was
and
just
let
trying. I
them
was trying
talk.
to see a compromise. That's all.
Here's
why
the
can't
thing, though.
why can't the host just rely on the panel to just kind of simmer down for 2 minutes? Like, there's just a couple minutes. Like, that's not too much to ask in a 1 or 2 hour broadcast. Here, all right.
And also,
So this panel is filling up. So answer that question, and then I got Irv Gotti, and then Brilliance.
Rael
In
didn't
that
get
order.
his on.
Oh yeah, Rael needs to get in.
But I just want to say something real quick. The crazy part is this. When it comes to the females coming on the panel, the whole point of dropping everybody down is because dudes want to come out with their balls out when they see a female come on the panel. Stop acting like a ravaged dog. You got to be able to hold it in. Don't be out here trying to flash, dude. We already know what
Well,
these
usually that's when a
Smiggle.
woman comes on the
Hey.
panel and says something blatantly stupid, though.
But the point of it is, you got to let the host go ahead and address that. The person that runs the channel, even if he says calm down, a lot of men won't calm down. So you got to understand, when the women come on the panel, they already looking for the stupidest guy on there to embarrass all the men. And when guys come up there, they trying to find out the stupidest one. Like I always say, when it comes down to it, a guy that doesn't know too much, a guy that isn't informed, she's going after you first. She's gonna make you look stupid. And when you try to say, well, women do this and what, and she's gonna go after you and say, okay, let's see how well you're put. Let's see your knowledge. And if you fail, you're failing the men on the channel and throughout. So the point of it is, let them speak, let them show their ignorance first to where she can make herself look stupid and everyone else say, see, this is why we let women on the panel to sit up here and
Well,
make themselves look. Go ahead.
but nobody's like, at least not in these spaces, should we get it at this point? We know what these women are about, and I get it from a viewership perspective. You might want to like broadcast that just for entertainment purposes, but
It's
as
not
far
even
as
just for entertainment.
but for conversation purposes, we know we all the talking points have been had and everything. There's nothing in these spaces that hasn't been traded already. So to have a woman
Okay.
come up on the panel and talk about something or have voice her opinion is largely irrelevant to the general broader spectrum of these conversations that I had because we're beyond.
But you gotta
Generally, we should be
understand this
beyond. We
this
should
is
be
a
beyond the
teaching
women.
moment. This is
It's,
a teaching moment.
what is it
When
teaching?
these
Something
women
we already know is confirmation bias.
So you mean to tell me every 16, 13, whatever young man knows about this, you mean to tell me that their father, uncle, whoever that's not in their life sat down and told them this? You got guys 40 years old still don't know women act like this and talk like this. You got guys 50 years old that ain't even got a woman. This is a teaching moment across the board. See, you might have known these things in your past, but how are you going to teach the next man when he doesn't have no one training them and showing them up on this? This is a life
See,
lesson
this
on
is what they're
Well,
multiple
talking
it's
about.
channels.
well,
See,
it's
Go
this
ahead.
is what
also
we're talking about. You're always telling us that we bash black women. They act like that. You're
What
not even
happened?
giving people the chance to see it. You know, everybody in your audience isn't hip to your train of thought, and when you try to
Exactly.
explain it and it doesn't exist to them, they're gonna look at you like, yeah, you are the guy that just bashing black women. But when they see it for themselves, when they see how stupid it actually looks live, then they get a better picture of what you're talking about. But I'm not saying that all women are going to come up here and do that. Some women genuinely want to just come up here and give their perspective, and you got to be able to filter them out too. It's like, but to sit up here and try to paint all of them with that same brush, I mean, they do us like that, but it's not on me to be just like them. It's on me to be like me. I'm trying to, show people what the fuck I'm talking about. And if you're not giving that chance for that to happen, then just gonna be back to square one. Not like that. I haven't been a person that everything's been said about, but it's just the way I see it, whether you agree or not. But yeah, but the Sister George issue. Sister George is a habitual line stepper. She is one. I don't think of myself as Sister George's king. I don't think of Sister George as my leader. It's just how it is. We're a team. It's like there are females on male teams, you know, especially one of the teams that love to sit up, and kind of throw shots, at the black manosphere in its current state, supposed. So I wouldn't go at that female in particular. So why should I let anybody go at Sister George, even though Sister George is someone who can handle herself, obviously, by
Yeah.
the way that some of these conversations go. She's a
I
team.
don't honestly.
Um,
I don't think it's. I don't think it's women like Sister George. I don't want to throw any in particular names out against anyone, but I think it's the women that get these large followings and start getting these super chats and cash apps. And I think some guys are looking at the message. I don't see. They look at the message as being diluted. I don't necessarily visit those platforms. I like to support the brothers that's keeping it real. But I mean, if you don't like the women being, if we don't, we're not. I don't really. I'm not really a fan of it, but I don't. It don't. I don't. It doesn't. I don't. It don't really bother me. I know how to talk to women pretty decent, so it doesn't bother me in that aspect. But I have noticed that sometimes when a woman comes to the panel, she literally takes. I mean, she doesn't mean to take over,
But it
but
does. I see what you mean.
yeah,
Nah,
everything comes about her.
What I see is she'll say something and then like all of the questioning will direct toward her. Now that's you
Yeah,
guys deciding that shit.
yeah.
That's not her deciding it at this point. It's you.
No, that's on us.
Yeah, I'll say
it's the
that on us,
simps.
but I realize that most of the time I will admit that I've paid attention to like a couple of times where I notice how the women say, I see every time we come over here. But I notice that every time that they always say that all the men direct the questions at that, the women always come with I feel or this, that, and the other, or try to downplay a fact.
And then
And then I
that's
notice
when you
that
got
that
she
makes
come in here
people
with the I
right,
feel.
right.
That's when you got she come in. Like, why
Right.
doesn't anybody notice that? You know?
Right.
Hey, but Brilliance, what's going on? You want to step in, brother?
Yeah. I was just gonna say I propose just a neutral space, where you can talk and play around with the women or whatnot. The manosphere should be for men doing male stuff, like
Mhm.
welding or you know auto mechanics, things that men like to do. It's a whole different existence outside of pussy. You know what I mean?
You know what you mean, Vern?
Yeah,
Is it her?
yeah, yeah. And there are
Mm-hmm.
no, there are guys that, from what I understand, that talk about trucking, that talk about cryptocurrency. That's a word that I see being thrown around. That is outside the parameters of a relationship. You got a couple of tech guys as well. But let's be honest. Are those spaces growing at exponential rates, and are these interests being served by the male bases that they are targeting? What are we doing as men to help those spaces that are useful to the purpose of the Black manosphere? What are we doing for those spaces to flourish? Are we super chatting the fuck out of those guys because they're giving us useful information that can help our sons and daughters?
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Teaching is a thankless task. It's a thankless task. You're not gonna get $10,000 a month, for teaching,
Mhm.
It's not never gonna happen.
I don't know.
Like you don't get. I ain't gonna lie. Think about it. How many times have y'all heard somebody say on this panel, like on our panel, I'm like, oh man, I know how to do that. I do a video call with you and walk you through it over the thing. I know I'm not expecting, like you're not gonna get a hoorah or anything for doing that. Unfortunately, I mean, we should start recognizing that, but you kind of expect that. You know what I mean? It's just to help out somebody when you can. But right, you don't get any thankful for being, unfortunately helpful. That kind of goes with the territory. And as a man, I mean, no offense, we men in the men's space, we kind of know that most of the good deeds that you do are thanks and aren't thanks. You don't get a thanks or a kudos for that.
That is true, but also, the key word, I do think we are teaching, and I don't think teachers are very well compensated. But I think professionals are. When you start looking at people that have I'm not saying that no one is smarter than anyone, but if you look at the scale of things, people with the larger followings or the larger platforms, they do tend to get a little bit more money being shared with them. So all I say is, as your platforms grow, so will your Patreons. You probably won't,
Yeah, and that comes in due time, but it also comes to the people who burst now. Like for those YouTubers that do get those super chats like that, they've just had a series of good fortune and well placed happenings on their platforms. Now, say for the one that we mentioned, the female that we mentioned earlier, she has a massive audience that's and a few of them do donate. Now, I'm not gonna pocket watch anyone. And I'm not gonna down the whole super chat cash app thing because I have a super chat and I do post my cash app at times. But people have got to stop acting like that's such a bad thing for someone to receive that.
I think it's a little jealousy involved in that.
Yeah, because anybody that can pull a little extra money from anywhere just for the simple task of running their mouths, like shit. I mean, I think people would be more than happy to accept that. I don't care what level of education you kid takes. I mean, I understand that your real lives, you have to back it with a certain bit of credibility. But at the same time, I mean, if you can make something like this work, by all means, knock yourself out, make as much money as you can, especially over here. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I feel like that one of the things you have to realize too, and to the men, to the men content creators, you have to realize if you're a decent looking woman, it's always going to be easier to do it because men are attracted to looks, that, and the other, and they're more likely to give an attractive woman. It's just what it is. Unfortunately, basically, like they said, is this. That's just an advantage of being a woman. I'm not going to hate her because she has an advantage for being a woman. So like think about it. If I'm going to do something that looks and talking, and I'm going to get paid for, she has the advantage. But say we flipped it over and we're going to build a house where I would have the advantage. You know what I mean? I would have the advantage to get that contract where she wouldn't. Even if we both were the same, they'd probably give it to me first. because they look at me and say, strong dude, rippy, good-looking woman. I can't picture her building a house. I mean, it's just the fact that unfortunately, you have to look at it from that aspect. They capitalize more in the appearance and entertainment sector. That I mean, it's full of women. That's what it is. Unfortunately, like they say, sex sells. Even the chance at sex sells. I mean, the chance at talking to a beautiful woman sells. I mean,
let me ask you a question, fellas. If you built a restaurant near a military base full of young men training to either go off to war and or coming back from war, okay, it's a steakhouse now. It's a steakhouse. It has a big ass bar, beer on tap, like drink specials all the time. What would you want the waitresses and the hostesses to look like?
Baddies.
The servers and the staff.
Straight floozy skank whore. That's what it looks like. Go
Oh,
bring
wow.
the,
Might as well be a strip
bring
club.
'em in there. Hell yeah.
We have a place called Boomer. We have a place called Boomer Jazz. It's right. It's connected to a strip club, and the girls come in there in fishnets. You know, the little schoolgirl outfit.
Ain't a lot. Look at
all
all
like
these
city
waiters.
girls.
Look at these waiters. It's some female waiters. They can sit there and make, as a waiter, they can make $50,000 a year easily. As I say, I mean, if she looks good, I mean, she can make $50,000 a year easily. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm friends with a couple of them that work at like the casino, or one of them work at them like golf ranges where you hit the ball, like driving ranges. Oh man! And I mean, every time I look up, because I'm friends with her, she gets flown. I'm like, damn, bitch, you just came back from Las Vegas 2 days ago. As of this morning, you're in Atlanta, Florida. I mean, it's just what it is.
The simpery is ridiculous these days.
Right? I mean, like, because I ain't gonna lie, man. She's so fine, I drink the bathwater.
That motherfucker gonna get dysentery. You gonna get that shit from that's butt cheek.
Hey, man. I'm just
That's
saying, but I'm just saying. I mean, I'm exaggerating. I'm exaggerating, but you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I understand.
To hear that you was in Las Vegas 2 days ago, you just came home and was talking about how you was just home, and this morning you flew out and you were in Orlando, Florida, taking pictures now. Because she took pictures at the airport today here in Cleveland, and now she's in Orlando, Florida.
But what's the biggest tip you left for a pretty waitress?
For me?
I left for
anybody. You said $2.
20.
25.
Okay.
I try not to do more than that because I don't want to come off as that. But I might have left something in her.
Wait, hold on. Y'all talking about leaving the tip? Y'all talking about leaving the tip due to her attractiveness? Ain't that some self shit?
I actually got a confession to make. Mr. Red Pill here.
Wait a minute. Wait. Ain't that some simp shit?
Yeah, it is. But look, listen.
Let him see it.
I left a $70 tip.
Dang.
But listen. This was my girlfriend at the time, so it's straight.
All right, yeah, it's a girl.
Yeah. So she worked at a restaurant. She was actually a good waitress.
All right,
That
guys.
was my roundabout way of giving her allowance at the time. So that's the most I left. She was bad too. So.
All righty. I mean, it served its purpose. Also, shout out to Hammer. Hammer had to go, so just want to thank him for coming by, and just want to say, rumble, young man, rumble. So keep doing your thing over there on your channel, sir. All right, we got Rogish up here. What's going on, brother?
Ain't no much, man. I was interested about the commentary in this one because I don't know. I think brothers is they had the space I guess you could say secure, what I'm saying, with a certain level of integrity to it for a minute, which making it a safe space. But the moment that what I'm saying, the green light or inadvertent green light was given on it, you had to know people was going to come flocking to it. You know what I'm saying? And then the aspect of them, what I'm saying, I guess respecting the space. I mean, do they think that their prettiness is going to get them a pass on panels, like maybe on their channel. You know what I'm saying? They're, you know, the aesthetics can get out there and, you know what I'm saying, mesmerize motherfuckers. But if they ain't coming, if when they're on panels and they're not coming with no real, then, you know what I'm saying, they get ate up all the same, right?
A lot of the girls that make it to panels have already been vetted and coached by the men before they even get on the panel.
Yep.
Right. So that mean that they really ain't an issue. If majority of them already been vetted and coached, then I mean, what's the issue? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you know what I'm saying, they on squad where they supposed to be.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask a question?
Go ahead, Rael, go ahead and get the floor.
Go
man.
ahead.
You haven't even spoke yet. Like, go ahead. You got the floor.
Peace, Kev. Peace to the panel. Peace to the chat. How often in any of our lives has going ape shit on a chick really got us what we want? Long term.
Never. You got to cut a bitch with a feather, cuz, you know what I'm saying? 1,000 times. You feel me?
But then look, we can say the opposite to that is being nice to a chick ever got you what you wanted. When it comes to in this space, not really.
Oh, I ain't looking for shit from a chick in this space at all. Yeah. I never came to these spaces for chicks. Matter of fact, one of the main reasons why I left Facebook was because it was not so much females being in the space, it was men, because you know, on Facebook, you know, you have the different pages, and you know, a lot of times dudes was giving women admin privileges, and so whenever these females would see comments that they didn't like, they would, you know, remove, block, and stuff like that. I had actually dudes who had to come back and re-add me back in the groups because chicks who was admins didn't like some of the stuff that I was saying. But over here, I think that men do a way better job in that regard by not giving women those privileges, although I've seen men give certain types of women wrenches that, you know, more problematic. But overall, it's actually much more policing over here. The thing is that, again, and I stressed this the other day, I don't know any of these chicks personally. When I'm talking, when I'm talking about certain types of females, I'm talking about those specific females that my talking points ascribe to. And the same thing with these chicks, they don't know us personally, so to take it personal off the rip makes no damn sense because we don't know none of these motherfuckers and they don't know us. So now, once that's out the way, now the talking points can be put forth. And the truth of the matter is, it's a lot of motherfuckers who just be talking about shit. They don't really know what the fuck they talking about. A lot of shit is just motherfuckers just coming off the cuff emotionally. And using these spaces, and men are doing it too. We're not going to just put it off on the women. There are men who are coming to these spaces using chicks who, and I'm not saying some of these chicks don't come in here uninformed, because many of them are. But we have to acknowledge too, if we want to acknowledge how feminism, things like that has messed men up, we also going to have to acknowledge how that shit has fucked females up too. Because it has. And nobody is going to sit up here and say feminism has not fucked up women. That would be an outright lie. Is it their fault that they accepted it? Yeah. But is it your fault as a daughter to be taught by a mother who has come with that energy? No, that's not your fault. You have no control over your parent. You got to deal with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And just like a lot of men had to escape those homes with women who came with that energy, some of these females have had to do the same things. And sometimes even go through even worse situations because it's different for males, because as a man, you're not trying to get your identity from your mom anyway. So you can go find some other spaces where you can actually get those type of that training, that masculinity training. Because if you had a dad in the house and he wasn't about shit, well, that shit don't matter. He didn't teach you shit. So you're gonna have to get it somewhere else. Because we live in a productive society where men are actually productive and produce and build, if you don't get it at home as a young man, you can still go out here and get it. The problem with these females is there's not spaces like that for them to get it. So they're going to come up here talking silly shit. You know what I'm saying? That's to be expected. We've been in these spaces too long to not expect that. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing to get triggered by. What I do, one of the things that I make sure that I make sure I focus heavily on is when a motherfucker comes in these spaces and she's gaslighting. That is really one of my pet peeves. And I make sure that, especially when I'm over in Roger's space and I see that, man, I'm removing those comments. Not because I'm triggered by it, because I know what the damage those comments can do. And for the dudes who don't know what gaslighting is, I'm making sure that they are not getting triggered by those comments, because that's the whole point of those comments, is to trigger you, is to get you to a place where you internalize some shit you probably heard in your life, maybe from your aunts, mom, grandma, whatever. And so I make sure I call it out, and I'm constantly flooding the space with information where people can, or especially men, but women too, can go and read from these sources so they can recognize from what it is. Because as we can clearly see, especially when we're watching somebody like Kevin's channel, Sanders, these women will just get up there and just lie. I mean, on camera. I mean, this will be like going in the court and getting on the stand in line under oath. That's how bad it is. But the sad thing about it for them, they don't even realize they're lying. Their behavior is so embedded in them. It has become normal to be a fucking liar. You know what I'm saying? The thing with men is we can't do that shit because the world expects something different from us. You know what I'm saying? It's not, the world is not expecting women to build it. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to keep in mind that when it comes to these women being in these spaces, one of the things that it does serve is for younger men who are not adept at hearing it properly. And so when they have older men who know what it is, they can point it out and say, hey, young blood, this is what this is. Don't fall for this.
Yep.
They can say, okay, you know, when I'm hearing these chicks say these talking points, this is what they're doing. They're trying to get me on my square. They're trying to weaken me. And a lot of times, the reason why these chicks are trying to weaken the man, it's not necessarily to weaken him to mess him up for life. They're trying to weaken the man because they know if that man is at his full strength and capacity, they can't even get him. They're already coming to the table believing that they're less than. I had a chick years ago who literally started crying in front of me. We wasn't arguing, we were just watching TV. And this chick out of the blue started crying and basically said, you know, she know I treated her good. She felt that I put her on a pedestal, but I didn't feel like I did. I just treated her with kindness and respect, and I loved her. She started breaking down crying and said, I know you treat me good and you put me on a pedestal, but I don't feel like I'm worthy of you. Man, do you know what? And this was a black woman. You know what that chick had to be feeling inside to come clean like that? We had no problems. We wasn't fighting or nothing. And she just came out the mouth with that because she had never experienced that type of shit. I'm pretty sure many of us have experienced females. You did stuff for them. You was good. Everything they claim they want you to be, and then she can't even function because she's so used to she's so used to dysfunction. She can't function outside of dysfunction. That's a whole
Right.
kind of level of shit. You know what I'm saying? Which is why one of the best things Kevin is doing to a lot of these females is saying, look, go get some counseling. I know for Black people to hear that type of shit, it seems like it's so, for a lot of Black people, they look at it flippantly, like, because we don't believe Black people can be crazy. Even though we use the word crazy so loosely, many Black people don't feel like Black people can be crazy. But there are plenty of Black people who have some real deep issues. So, but that's one of the best things that he has pushed to these chicks because it truly, I mean, truly, especially with some of the stuff I've been reading, man, it is truly something that they need. The last thing they need to get is a man. They're not even prepared for a man. You know what I'm saying? Their vagina might say they want a man, but their heart is like, hell no. Nah. You know what I'm saying? So we got to keep that in perspective when these females come to these spaces. I'm all about protecting the men in these spaces. But when content creators are having public spaces where they're gonna have females featured for a specific reason, a lot of times, I know when it comes to somebody like Roger, like he wants men to hear that perspective so they'll understand when they're out here what they're dealing with. So when they're out in public, they ain't got to spaz out like we've seen men do in these spaces because they know what they're hearing and they can use their emotional intelligence to redirect the situation in a different way so they can better protect themselves out here. Because when you're out here in the public and you on your job and stuff like that, you can't be cussing motherfucking chicks out. You can't do that shit. You can't go off. You're gonna get your ass fired. So you have to deal with it in another way, and you can't let it just eat at you and gnaw at you, because if you let it get to that point, that means you've internalized it and they got you. So you don't want to get to that point. You want to redirect the energy. So they have to be still holding that energy that they're trying to project on you. And you can walk away, man, still like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because you confident and you got the self-esteem in yourself to know, like, when she says this out of pocket shit, it ain't you. How can it be you most times? Because she don't even know you. So it can't be you. She's speaking to a whole different situation you ain't got shit to do about. That's why you shouldn't take it personally.
But Rob, when it comes to the space, I mean, how often is the cats finna hear some chick come up and not be programmed? You know what I'm saying? Most of the response is going to be something that you done heard before. And depending on how long someone been in the space, they should be well seasoned and, you know what I'm saying, being able to be receptive to, you know what I'm saying, such attacks or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like some martial arts shit. Your awareness goes up.
I think
Right. Well, the awareness should go up from, because the men are putting the information out there. One of the best things, man, Obsidian, the one thing I really respect about that brother is that he was constantly putting out books. He was constantly telling, hey, read this, read that, read this, read that. Same thing about BGS. The thing with a lot of Black men is that a lot of Black men don't want to read. They don't want to get into those books because a lot of times you might see some shit that might be about you. You know what I'm saying? It's your experience. And so you got to keep that in perspective, man, when you coming out here, because like I said before, like I've been with females who have had narcissistic mothers, for example. Man, them chicks be devastated. You know what I'm saying? Like they really be devastated. You know what I'm saying? When we out here seeing these females with that tough veneer, we seeing them with this tough exterior, that's not them. That's somebody who is trying to hide the fact that they scared as shit. They a scared little girl trying to be tough, man, because they were taught that they had to be tough. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've had females who, I've had to cut females off for not letting me open up the door for them because they wasn't used to being treated like somebody who should be cared for like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've cut chicks off for shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not their fault that they wasn't taught. But if I'm expressing to you like, look, this is why I do this, blah, 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 and you just keep going across it, I can't deal. But they don't, we really are not really understanding that this stuff is so deep, man. Like, there's a lot of psychological shit, man, that's at play out here. And the last thing, man, we need, especially when we got younger audience members listening, is to have us grown as men cussing out females. First of all, as men, we shouldn't have to be arguing with women anyway. You know what I'm saying? If you really are a leader and resolute for real, I don't care. And even Malcolm X said this in his autobiography, peace be upon him. He said in his autobiography, he said, man, I'm paraphrasing, you could be dealing with the meanest woman, but if you come around and you tell her she's beautiful every day, he said, man, at a certain point, man, she gonna soften up. She gonna soften up. And we've seen females in these spaces. They let Roger know, like, hey, man, I've gotten some information from your space, and hey, I'm using that to incorporate in my life. And hey, man, it's helpful, to have these women who don't really want to give us credit for shit, for them to come out their mouths and say things like that. That means it's not the fact that these some evil chicks and stuff like that. These chicks are hurt, and they're like a lot of them. Like when I was reading out the book the other day, they have this mother wound. They're walking around wounded in a spirit, and they don't know how to heal that wound. And they're going to have to get that counseling so they can be able to do it, because they can't get it through no penis. They can't get it through a relationship, because the very wound that they have is going to keep leading them to the very dysfunctional style relationships that they experience through their mother. That's how the shit works. So until they do that, until they do the work, which is what a lot of stuff Kevin is saying, they gonna keep coming around saying silly stuff. So it's not so much to like, try to win an argument with them. A lot of the men need to hear what their talking points are going to be, so they can recognize how to best deal with it, especially in these environments, the Me Too shit and all that. Men need to know how to be able to redirect that energy. I seen a dude recently. He was in Kevin's channel, and this fool, he took some of the same talking points that he was hearing in these spaces and went to work talking shit and got fired. It's like, dude, you can't do that. This is why David Carroll started saying it. He's like, look, man, if you at your job, don't be listening to this stuff out loud. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you protect yourself, because a lot of people ain't gonna be feeling this. You know what I'm saying? But dude went to work because he felt so empowered, like, yeah, I'm about to go beat these chicks up with it. And he got taught a hard lesson, because, like, dude, that's not what it's there for. That's not what Kevin is over there for, to say this stuff to be beating up on chicks. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's taken much more of a fatherly role dealing with these chicks. They think it's mean because they never had that father telling them what the real things are out here. So we got to be very careful as it relates to these younger people. Even though we've gone through our stuff ourselves, we've gone through stuff. I'm 42. There's men up here, probably in their 40s and 30s. We've experienced stuff, but we got to keep it in perspective where the stuff coming from. Just like men in the homes have been ruined by feminist style mothers, daughters have been ruined by them too. And Alice Walker's daughter even wrote an article about that, saying how much her mom damaged her. So she was a daughter of a feminist who wrote The Color Purple. And even she said she don't even deal with her mother because of her feminist leanings, even though that's not what she wants. She wants to have a relationship with her, but because she has a child now, she had to choose between her mother and her child. And of course, thankfully, she chose her child.
That's very rare. My thing is, do you think that we're making it easy by letting them come to these panels, because we're giving them direct answers with little work? And I think that a lot of the women that get it on these panels should make, because like when guys don't have the easiest time explaining these things to younger men, or we don't have, it's not easy explaining this stuff to men at all.
Social wise, how sick would you say they were? How sick social wise would you say the women were?
On a scale from 0 to 10?
Yeah, 0 to 100.
0 to 100, man. Gosh, man, they're at a strong 90% because
So it's chronic. It's chronic.
chronic.
So they need to come to
yeah.
spaces like this and get that, you know what I'm saying, that raw. They need to come to spaces like this because obviously they're not getting any actual reality or a mirror thrown in them about their reality nowhere else in their life. I mean, all of them in church ain't doing a motherfucking thing for them. You know what I'm saying? Their education ain't doing nothing for them. Their sisterhood ain't doing nothing for them. It really don't seem like the older women pass down nothing to them. So, I mean, shit, they out this motherfucking naked, cuz.
That is true.
What
age range of women are you talking about, though? Because they're like older and they've already like been through that shit. Like they've been like in their mid-30s. Like, what's the point of talking to them?
Because they hold on. Let me answer this question. I was just reading one of my books where a woman, I think she was 59. This woman was still going to counseling at 59. Dang. And she was talking about how her relationship, she was entering into relationships with dudes based off of the lack of feeling validated by her mother. And she was looking for men to validate her. Men, which is what we've experienced. I've experienced women who did this, thinking that you're going to solve all their problems. You're going to be the end to everything they've ever went through. They put their responsibility on you because they haven't dealt with their mother. And so this woman was literally seeking men out, even until her damn 60, based on the relationship she had with her mother as a freaking child.
Ah, damn.
59.
Damn, man.
It's that deep. Y'all better get on this fucking shit about this psychology shit because these women are feeling some fucking pain. Y'all think y'all feeling some pain? I'm looking at our situation. I'm like, shit, we got it fucking good because men, we got these spaces here,
right,
that are filled with men, productive.
Well,
You know, we putting men on. You got men getting in the trucking. You got men getting in the man. We have men like Dollar Will. He teaching brothers how to trade. Man, he got Lionel. He got damn Matty Ghost. Them boys doing big things, man. They doing big things. What will be considered some white boy shit and stuff like that. A black man is putting those type of brothers on, and they going out there and they shining on that type of stuff. These females don't have that alternative. You know what they got? They got Oprah. They got all this other BS out here. They got Scandal and stuff like that.
Right.
They ain't looking. They're coming here because even though they're not going to say it because, you know, ego and shit like that, man, these chicks are looking for some fucking answers because they ain't got nowhere to go. Right. I mean, literally nowhere. Basically, they're emotionally homeless women.
Yeah.
So it's not chronic. It's more damn near terminal.
Ooh. I mean, so I don't think it's our responsibility to save these hoes, though.
It's not an aspect of it being no responsibility because you the thing is they come to the space and the space is already charged with truth, reality, you know what I'm saying, focus moving forward. If that ain't part of their life, they're gonna get gamed up anyway. You ain't never been around no, you know, pimping ass uncles when you was little or something like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're gonna get gamed up just being in the motherfucking presence, cuz. But the thing is, you know what I'm saying, these chicks, when they come here, they need to motherfucking submit. That's what they learning when they get here. They learning that nothing that they present to the situation was actually helping them. So just sit the fuck back, listen, and get your motherfucking life in order.
But
yeah,
I want to add.
Yeah. Listen. That's the key word. Listen, not talk.
Yeah, because I wanted to add, like, what are we really doing? Are we trying to, you know, be a psychiatrist to these women, or, you know, are we trying to help men be productive in this society? You know,
I think we have graduated to both, honestly. Well, not me. I say guys like Rael, Roger, Kim.
That's part of the role. That's part of the role. That's that natural guidance. It ain't psychology. You just using logic. It just blows they motherfucking brain because they ain't been using the shit. All them feelings, shit.
Well, what I said earlier was like the red pill spaces are really they've graduated past the women talk. Like a lot of guys are talking about, getting passports and increasing their finances, stock market, using your degree in a functional way. So a lot of problem is a lot of guys went to college got degrees, but they can't really do nothing with them because they don't know what avenues to take. There are channels for that too. So you might have a computer science degree, but you don't know how to create a portfolio for yourself, because when you have a computer science degree, you need a portfolio. So
Smurgo, when did the red pill thing start meaning something about relationships? When did that shit start?
The red pill, when it started, that's a loaded question. It's always kind of been like for relationships, because the red pill started.
Nah, I wasn't for no more fun relationships. That shit started out.
It's not a relationship specifically. It was more because it started with the MRA movement. Yeah, that was about family court problems. So it's always been, that's where it started, and that it just kind of branched off from the MRA movement with the family court. That's what started. That's what started.
Start from the Matrix, motherfucker, just waking up seeing reality for what it is.
So I came into the red pill off conspiracy theories. Then, of course, I started having my women problems later on. But I was a big conspiracy theorist, like a 9/11 truther and all that. So I got hooked up to the red pill. So the red pill is very vast. So that's why it doesn't surprise me that it has expound to where. Because why wouldn't it end that? Why wouldn't it go back to psychology? Because this is.
Well, I think I think the red pill basically really started with a way of thinking. And the fact is, when you put logic into the whole world and basically instead of what you were told was the right way during your upbringing, and I think that's basically the start of the red pill there. Like when you realize, like how your mother say, "Oh, you need to do this so you can get a woman," but then when you find out, well, wait a minute, that's not really how it works. You know what I mean?
I'm not for sure about the origins, brother. I couldn't tell you.
So you're like suggesting that the red pill didn't always have anything to do with women?
No, it didn't have anything to do with women. It's the fact it had something to do with basically you were taught something or you were told something during your upbringing. Kind of like in the Matrix, basically like that. He thought he was a computer worker going to his death, this, that, and the other. But by the time he realized where he was just in part of a simulation, he had already been grown up, went to school, did this, got that job, thought that he was in the real world, but he wasn't. It's basically like when you find out the way how the world works is not the way that you were told the world is.
That simulation was feminism, though.
But that too, but I'm just saying, it's basically saying like this. You were told how the world is as being a blue pill, but then when you find out how the world really works, that's when you wake up, being red pill.
And in the movie, when Neo awakened, did he stop or did he go back inside?
Eventually, he had to reconnect himself back to that bitch.
He had to reconnect because he said in the movie, he said the prophecy was wrong. He said we were never supposed to destroy the Matrix.
Well, no. Actually, this is the thing. If you pay attention to actually how the trilogy goes, when he thought he woke up, he actually wasn't up. Basically, when they were in Zion, he thought like when people could displug and all that shit, they thought that they were out of the Matrix, but they actually were not out of the Matrix. They were still in. That's why in the last movie, he said, "What do you want from me, from the machines?" And he said, "Peace." And they're like, "We don't need you. We don't need nothing." So basically, that's when he was actually outside of it. Then on the last one, because technically, even when they were out in Zion, they were technically still in the Matrix. It was just another program. Why do you think he could stop the Sentinels with his hands? Because they realized, wait a minute. He's like, wait a minute. I can still feel them. That's when he realized, wait a minute. This is just another program on top of the program.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so you got to go back and watch the movie.
Hold on. But here's the problem. See, when people quote unquote become red pill, they think that's the end.
Yeah, right. It's a step in the journey, right?
It's just the
right.
beginning.
Yeah.
And so people think that one thing that I had to learn years ago was that I had to learn how to stop giving people so much information. And the reason why I learned that was because I learned that a lot of people will resent you for waking them up.
Yeah, kind of like Tyson in the movie.
Resent you. So part of that journey when you red pill is to understand that there are gonna be some motherfuckers who don't want to wake up. Now, for those people who choose to, hey, more power to them. It doesn't mean this shit just easier. It's just that you're able to see it better. You're able to see it much more clear, and you can interface with it better to get what you're looking for. And so, a lot of these, some of these females that are coming here, they're coming to that awakening. You know
and also another point to reiterate on that. Okay,
they're coming to that awakening. It's a bitch. Because it's like being a newborn baby. You come into this world, you bleeding and crying. You know what the fuck going on. It's the same kind of response, because no woman wants to sit here and have to say, "Damn, man, my worst enemy in my life was my mom." You think any daughter wants to come to that realization? Nope.
Yeah. That's
but that's a hell of a realization to come to. So you got to be really prepared to really step out there on that ledge like that. And so for some of these females, they're like, okay, I'll do that. But it ain't easy, because hell, it ain't easy for a lot of men. You know how many dudes I've tried to pass information to? Man, read this, do this, boom, this and that, and the four, blah, 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 this. The dysfunction was more comfortable than the unknown. They could deal with the dysfunction. They're like, I know this. But that shit out there, I don't know. I don't know about all that. I don't know, because that means more of the onus is on you. You got to carry that shit for real. And so, we got to really, for the females who do want to listen, who do want to learn, and who do want to get better. Because I'm not one of these people that's saying like, oh man, women actually just evil. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, because I'm about the information. And when I get information that refutes things that I believe, I'm not going to just keep believing some shit that ain't real. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is a perspective I need to have. Okay, all right, I need to look at things from this vantage point. So now, when I'm having conversations, because many of the things I say now, man, I was saying at 19 and 18, 19, 20, high school. I got a homeboy. He's like, man, this shit you was saying, man, we was in high school. So it's just now I got a lot more data to back up what I'm saying. So when these females come out here popping, I'm like, look, what better source to give these? Since they want to make it a gender thing, I'm cool with that, because I'm a tactician. I'm a strategist. What better strategy can I employ than to give some data from some women who's backing up what I'm saying? Because now you can't make it. You can't make it, man. You can't make it a gender issue at that point. I'm saying, as a man, I'm getting this information over here from these women who've been clinical psychologists for 30 years, who've seen women just like you talk all the shit that you talk, and then they got to pull your ass in that room and really talk about that shit that's really eating you, like the lack of a relationship that you have with your mom bullying you, your mom taking money from you, your mom got you acting like her husband, something you don't want to do, but you're so scared to cut the relationship off because that's probably the only parent you have. So now you like, forget, I'm going to just deal with it because I don't want to lose this person. But at the same time, I'm an adult and I need a man, and I need to get out here and get my own and live my own life. But you're so scared to live your own life because the very person who's supposed to teach you how to have that independence ultimately and leave the nest, she don't want you to leave the nest because she's scared.
Church.
Right.
Well, I'll say this. If you notice how one of the lines that I think that nobody quotes from the movie, but remember when he was walking with Neo outside before he saw the woman with the red dress, and he was saying, these are the people, like when if you're not one of us, you're one of them. And he said, some of these people are not ready to be woken up yet. And I believe like the women that come to our area and they fight and like, hey, you show them the facts and you say, look, 80% of divorces are initiated by women. I don't feel that way. See, like those are the people who they ain't ready to be woken up yet. because they won't even look. Like you were trying to show them, look, here are the facts, here's the data. I don't want to see it. Those are the people like in the Matrix who ain't ready to be woken up yet. And that's how you can easily spot them out in the beginning, because even like one of the comments he said these people are so plugged into the Matrix that they will fight and die to stay in it.
Yes.
And he said, you don't realize, he said those people are just as bad as an agent.
So perhaps the filter for sisters coming in.
Kept trying to get in.
Hold your thought. Just want to get this super chat in, and also thank Sir Anthony for the Cash App. Really appreciate that. There, I said it. Says I side eye any black man who does not support this sacred space. The Black Manosphere is about black male empowerment. This is key to improve black society. Okay, Rogish, you got the floor.
Cool. I was thinking perhaps maybe the filter of sisters entering the space needs to be a little bit more specific then, because they're given a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, length to, you know what I'm saying, possibly get out of pocket at levels to where it, you know what I'm saying, ignite unnecessary friction. But the thing is, you got to also acknowledge that they're coming to the space, you know what I'm saying, dumb, deaf, blind, and all that shit, and dodging, you know what I'm saying, their reality. So, you know what I'm saying, in the aspect of I don't know, in the aspect of their attendance, perhaps that's what needs to be taken into consideration.
Yeah, any back and forth that I've had on YouTube, on any panel with any female, I easily discarded any of their notions, like easily. You know, and I'm not a bully. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm here for the ideas. Clearly, this feminazi training is not working for them. They know it. Many of them know it. But again, it's easier to come and project on pages with your little gaslighting comments, with your threats of divesting, because you see Serena Williams get a white guy, even though you know you're not about to get one.
Is that what that means?
Yeah, that's getting a white guy. So trying to upset the men because that's your programming. Think you got to think about it. Feminism, man, was meant to hurt women. It wasn't about the men. It was about the women. It was to get them more weakened and more docile to be a slave. That's what it was. That's what it's for. So, you know, these women are coming to. They first of all, when you're dealing with narcissism and cognitive dissonance, you got two powerful forces at play. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it is just it's going to round them up most times because it's going against the programming. For some, it could be a glitch in their matrix, and the information can get in, and they can say, "Hold up, damn, I didn't think about it like that." You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so, like I said, you know, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, like I've said plenty of times, like, yes, this is a black male space. You know what I'm saying? But what better way to help empower men? There's ways you can help men, but one good way to help men, because men have to deal with this in real time. It's like studying a lesson in college. Yeah, you can read the book all day long, but then you got to put it into action in real life. Right. And so many of these men are going to have those experiences. You know what I'm saying? They're going to come across women that we talked about who come with all that masculine energy, and they have to be equipped and prepared to be able to, like I said earlier, redirect their energy so they're not putting themselves in danger. Because at the end of the day, if you're dealing with some people that they ain't grow up with you, they don't know you, they don't know what's in your heart, they don't know any of that type of stuff. You're having exchanges on social media. Why the hell should you be getting triggered? Because at the end of the day, they don't even know you like that. Right. So you should be able to redirect the energy and recognize what the energy is. The energy is coming from somebody who thinks low of themselves. They're not going to say it. Just like when you're in relationships with chicks, the average black female, she's not going to say, I feel like I ain't shit and I ain't worthy of you. Is she going to say that? No. She's going to do a bunch of shit to sabotage the shit. And you sitting up there thinking like,
Yep.
what's
What the fuck going on?
You know what I'm saying? And
How the fuck we get here?
you killing yourself trying to prove that you ain't that nigga and you a good dude. But what some of the stuff I read the other day, something before I even read this shit, I was already saying years ago. She meet a competent man. She thinks she want that competent man, but then when she get the dude, she go do all this shit to sabotage it because it's going right back to her relationship with her mother. Imagine that shit. You can have such a dysfunctional relationship with your mother that even when you are able to attract a productive and capable black man that can lead you to the promised land, you will still fuck it up because of your programming. That's some powerful fucking shit. Because it's not having anything to do with a man. It's your mama. That's how important. When they came down with the teaching, the women who embraced it, who was it going to affect the most? It was going to affect those daughters because they were going to be the primary students of under their mom's tutelage. You know what I'm saying? And now they have to live that shit out in the real world. Well, after 50 years of this shit, that shit looking ugly as fuck. So now they're like, well, what the hell was this? Mom said this shit was gonna work. It's not working. These men, they going over here, they marrying, they going overseas, man. They marrying other women from other cultures. You said these niggas wasn't shit, but shit, they doing their thing. So where's mine at? You know what I'm saying? So this shit it goes deep, man, and we got to keep that shit in perspective.
How many
my own mother is a pastor, and me and my father have spent we have spent years. I can count 20. My sister's 27. We have spent 20 years debunking everything my mother has told her. But we debunk my mom in her face though. We do it in her face. We don't even do it behind her back. She tried to go against us, but we do it in her face.
She a feminist pastor.
Yeah, but that's how they all are. Every female pastor is a feminist, whether you believe it or not.
Definitely. Well, think about it. Why do you think there's no men in the churches? I mean, like I went to a church a couple of years ago. I tried to like ease back into it, but it's like, man, when I listen to some of the shit, and I'm like, well, here's the question. Like, I hear all the shit, this, that, and the other, but I'm like, I don't hear nothing about what they expect your ass to do. Right? You know, literally, it's nothing. Like, I mean, like even when you hear, like in relationships, and when you hear the women talk, you don't hear the women talk like next time you go to a women's only panel and they talk about relationships, like, and listen to what they say, like, and they talk about listen to what like you don't hear them say, oh, God damn, you know, I be cooking this man a meal, he be doing this, that, and the other, make sure his balls drain. You don't hear none of that shit. And you be like, well, goddamn. And you like, I see you like sometimes you just listen I listen for like 5 or 10 minutes and be like, wow. And you be like, well, you realize and you see why you ain't got no dude.
Oh, there's a trifecta to getting a hand on the black community. Either be a fraternity member, a pastor, or a drug dealer. My mother was my mother was an AKA Eastern Star and a pastor. She definitely had her hands on the black community.
Damn.
Definitely. I ain't gonna lie, like them pastors, woo, man, what's so bad too? Like with me working for a lot of women, because you know, mostly single women hire me, because why would you be hiring a construction dude or a handyman to come to your house? And I mean, I did 10 years of handyman before I got into like actually the remodeling. And man, I ain't even gonna lie, you go to these women's house. So like you would hear they go to church and then they would all come over to one house and like you hear the conversations. And I'm like, well, god damn it. I mean, they so fucking cutthroat. They talk about each other and shit like that. You know, most of my customers are word of mouth. So if I don't work for you, I done got somebody else to refer me to this person. So by the time, you know, a couple months go by, I done met 3-4 of your other friends who just, and I hear y'all sit there and talk about the other one. Like, man, I just filed on so many languages. At least with dudes, it's like when we shaming a dude, we do it to their face. They're like, yeah, man, dude, you kind of fibbing today, you like that pussy. Don't go on and say that shit. At least we say it to your face. And y'all women is cutthroat. They be just dogging each other. And then sit up there and smile. Yeah, girl, this, that, and the other. I'm like, wow. They can just turn this shit on and off so quick. I ain't even gonna lie. Man, if you ever trust anything to come out of a woman's mouth, you a damn fool.
So how many generations do y'all think? How many generations has there been so far of feminism? I know it's been 2 waves, but how many generations we talking?
I'm thinking 4.
4 to 6, right? That's a lot. That's a lot. And now for at the end part, with where I was just explaining that they're figuring out that it's not working. Well, they're figuring it out like hard now that it's not working. So you got to ask yourself, what's that? How long is that phase going to be for them? For them in the aspect of the figuring before they even get to taking the positive steps into the rebuilding situation.
I think once all the productive men, the positive men, leave, then they'll do it. But then it's too late. It's already over once that happened.
Man, they run. I think it's crazy how they ran us out of the most important places, and they try to run us out of the most important place now. But they ran us out of schools. I remember having school principals and stuff. So they ran us out of schools. They ran us out of churches. Now they're running us out of government. So that's the reason why I'm gonna be on the PTA board for my son. I'm gonna be on the independent school district. I'm gonna be coaching, and I'm gonna be figuring out what's going on locally, lawfully for my child. I mean, because those are the areas that they kicked us out of. We got to get back in those areas.
Well, that's true too. If you also know too, this is the problem, and I'll say this, and I just hate to say it. Unfortunately, they're waiting for you.
Dre, I hate to cut you off, man, but I got to read this super chat. It's been sitting up there for a second. Black YouTube fanatic says they scared of Judge Dre and BGS, but Edward will pop up like the boogeyman.
Okay.
It is a
but
sniper.
I say this is the problem with the whole thing is, goddamn, you threw my damn train of thought off. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh. Another thing, they ran us out of the media as well.
Yeah.
Okay, now I remember. This is what I said. This is the problem. They don't want to come and do the work to build any damn thing. Like, if you ever notice, name a program or name any big thing that come up that women started themselves. Like, they started it, they did this, that, and the other. I'm not saying they started nothing, but they're few and far between. But basically, what they like to do is, after hey man, I got a club. Me and Kevin and Johnny get together. We open up a club. This, that, and the other. Yeah, man, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna allow this. We're gonna do this, that, and then the other. Okay. Women will come by about 3 weeks later. Well, you know what? You should do this, that, and the other. No, motherfucker, the club is like this. This is what we do. Well, you should really do this. No, motherfucker, it ain't working like that. This is what we do. Now, y'all just don't literally, this is the fact is this. They want to come in after all the hard work is done and then change it to cater to them. And then when you don't change it to what they want, then they try to destroy it.
Yeah.
That's the theme. Unfortunately, that's the reason why I have a problem. Like, when they come into spaces, fine. But if they come out their mouth with any fucking rhetoric, like saying, well, 80% of men are gay and cheating like this, that, and the other, and that's the reason why men and women don't know, motherfucker. As soon as they say something that's wrong, immediately cut them off and say, no, that is not a fact. Because the problem is when you allow that fact to stand and you allow them to run on for 2 or 3 minutes later, when they done told an alt-right lie in our space, it's a problem. Because when they tell an alt-right lie and we don't cut them off and put them in check and tell them, no, clear that lie up first before you continue, then that shows them saying that in the crowd for the men and no men is checking them. That's just like they're in the Matrix when they say that dumb bullshit and nobody's checking them.
They don't let me check on mine,
right.
Bro. Let me go ahead and read this super chat out, Toya. Thank you very much for your support. Thankful for this space. I have had to challenge much of my programming and will continue to do so. All right.
That's good. That's
Salute.
good for her.
The hooked on phonics work for you, Kevin?
That's really good for her.
Yes, it is.
Did you have hooked on phonics or you had speak and spell?
I had hooked on phonics. It was really good.
Because I see. Wait a minute, Kevin. How old are you? You have speak and spell or hook on phonics?
I think I had to speak and spell.
Speak and spell. Okay, yeah, I was about to say we were speak and spell. Yeah, that's like you in my age group.
Right.
We don't find it after speak and spell.
I'm gonna remake Hook on Phonics. The old one was lame as fuck.
And then go ahead.
Whoever was about to speak, go ahead. I wasn't gonna really say anything.
Go ahead.
Oh, another thing, women like to bring up is whenever this whole submission thing pops up, like it does every so often, they always say abuse. If men were that,
it is abuse.
When they abuse. Bro, think about it. Black men ain't known for abuse. Black men, we always treated our women with respect. We're not known for that.
That's emotional abuse, man. You try look, submission equates to them shut the fuck up and do what you told, which is kind of fucked up that even if they did do it and carried it out, their life would be better. But motherfuckers don't deliver, shut the fuck up and do what you told. But it would be more effective than, hey baby, I'm with you in your corner. We can do this. Trust.
What about the swirlers that say it? I mean, like, here's a question. The women who say that they should go to white men because they treat you better. Well, last time I checked, if you had to say, if we go back, say, 70 years, it was the white men who were raping you because they didn't get in trouble for doing it. And they were beating you and treating you like crap when we were married to you guys at like an 80% rate. So when you sit here and say that y'all want to go to white men because they better, what, do you like to be hard and beat? Because last time I checked, that's what they were doing to the female slaves.
Okay, but look, for them chicks to do that, they don't even really matter because you already know that they bullshit. Because the fact that they even have to,
I'm just saying, how does that sound when you're at the logic?
How it sound like a broke bitch, you know what I'm saying? Mentally, that's basically what it is. Well, that's what it is. Look, everybody know that majority of the time, if you got that type of relationship, they're gonna be, you know what I'm saying, treated like hoes. The way they have to submit coming to the motherfucking door with them. Even if they ain't even been used to it their entire life, they'll pick up that motherfucking trait when they get them what y'all call them motherfuckers? Chad, not Chad. Brian.
Think about this. Think about it. Chad Wheeler supposedly beat that woman's behind because she didn't bow to him. I would just, maybe I should listen to it. I would love to hear a Swirlers panel talk about that.
Okay, but check it out. Check it out.
For real?
Look, she probably did a whole lot up until that time, and the fact that she ain't followed through, you know what I'm saying, and he tested the waters, probably never told her to before the buy, but he like, you know what, fuck it, this bitch do everything I tell her ass to.
Right.
Fuck it, I'm gonna tell her ass to buy. And then she resisted. Hey, what the fuck, bitch, you do everything. You live out the toilet. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck?
I'm not even gonna lie. If I was a woman, I would have been like, they don't want me. I'm gonna be like, well, look. I said, now here's a question. Since y'all talk about ain't nobody got black women's back, why didn't you have your woman's back and 15 of y'all go over there and beat the crap out of his behind?
Because it ain't about that. It's about look, it's about the comfortability. And that's one of the things when they enter the space, they actually lose right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? I try to show them, like, look how comfortable you're trying to remain. You know what I'm saying? Like on defense, like nobody's attacking you when they talk reality. It's just that you realize that you live in bullshit. and you don't want to actualize that acknowledgement. Because if so, now you got to change something.
I knew I smelled something.
So then here comes the fighting and the ad hominem attacks and the accusation of being what's the word, bullies or whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Please get your life right. Get your life right. Get mad at your mama. Heal what you need to heal. Hey, I mean, it is what it is. Shit. The thing is, though, if you got all these cats coming from all over the world, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
and agree on the same damn thing.
Yes, and can say that they've had a parallel response to a motherfucker thousands of miles away who bitch ain't met that bitch, so they ain't trading bitch notes or nothing like that. You know what I mean? So the thing is, it's like they point themselves out to be the boogeyman, and it's like, nah. You, as Philip Shockley says, something happened to you. All right, now you have to change it. Everybody says the programming all the time, but when they listen, they don't hear us saying something about the programming. They think that we're saying you, and it's like, nah, that ain't just you. It's the programming that you're running. But bitch, you won't take a look at the motherfucking notes. If people say you're running programming, why not take a look at some things that should condition you socially like that? They're like, nah. It's just like when they go to KS, and it's like, look, these are his standards. You don't meet the standards. He's telling you how you can meet the standards, and they like, nah, take me as is, bitch. As is, you don't motherfucking qualify.
And this right here proves that the American educational standard has completely dropped, because all of these women are educated, but they have no sense of concept.
Thank you.
That's what education is all about. Education is.
Repeat that for the people in the see one more time. So repeat that. Start over again.
These women have all of the education and credentials, but yet they have no sense of. I don't know the word I used.
Concept.
Yeah, they don't. They just look like how if you can't analyze, if you can't
apply the information to do anything with it, right? I mean, the information just goes in there and comes right on back out. But I think that it may be all the hair blue in the hair. Ooh,
wait, hold on. You come to the on that, Judge. You mean they can't apply the information? They can apply the information because it's just like being at a job. Shit, do what the fuck you told.
You right. Damn, go ahead. You hit me on with that one. You
right. All it is a motherfucking instructive order. Do it. Grow. Let's move on. You know what I'm saying? And profit. What the fuck? What it got to come from a motherfucking pilgrim for it to be in the form of a man? That's bullshit.
If women were smart, they'd realize that a marriage actually pays more than a job, and these jobs are not giving you 30 years. These women have to realize you're not going to get 30 years on a job. You have to go into entrepreneurship by 10 to 15 years of you learning your discipline. You need to be figuring out how to do it for yourself. So these women are not going to get 30 years on a job, and they already don't like working for each other. So they're going to have to understand the concept of what they've learned, or they're going to have I don't know. But the thing about it is, the problem is men have woken up to the sore deal of marriage. They've woken up to the financial responsibility of it. Women have messed up. They really let men analyze marriage. Men used to jump that broom and not give a damn. Right.
Now men like, hell no. I mean, like, literally. Did you see that?
Guys thinking about that
Alicia Curry posted butt naked.
Oh no, I ain't know she's butt naked. I know
she got a butt naked picture. Nothing. She ain't got shit on.
Oh shit, yeah. Put that in the back chat. Take a look
at
man. See how
she's a real thirst bucket.
And I remember when I told you,
well, she said
we were talking last year. Yes, we were talking last year. I said, guarantee you that they'll be divorced in 5 years. We only got 4 more years left. They're gonna be matter of fact, they'll be divorced. I say 2 more years from now they'll be divorced.
Who will be?
Alicia and Steph.
Well, after somebody get her cheeks, then yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I said that, but you can already tell she wasn't happy with that nigga back when she made them comments.
No. The thing is, do you think
Megan
she's going to
Good.
do you think she's going to keep it at just insta-thotting, or do you think she's going to, take it farther?
Oh man, she ain't ugly, so she gonna ride the CC for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, basically like this is she think that she gonna get a dude that's gonna treat her like anything, but basically after she break up with Steph, she's just gonna get ran through.
Oh, of course, that's what she wants. That's what she wants. But Corey Holcomb say this. He said this pussy must get destroyed by dark dicks daily.
Yeah.
Shit, she put herself out there, so it is what it is. But and you know what? That's also the interesting thing. I mean, if you look at it, let's see, their world of I don't know, integrity, whatever lack there is of it, has to be in turmoil, because it's a lot of things that's being exposed about their perspective of reality and how they move within it. You know what I'm saying? And all of it is damaging to character. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like, Pilgrim's Field when this month comes up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody starts sharing all that pro-black shit. It's like, how y'all don't feel like a devil, you know what I'm saying, through the month of February, you know what I mean?
I honestly think that more power is stronger than her of kind of forcing that union, because
they're trying to keep saying that they don't want to look like a bad. They're gonna try to do whatever they can, but they're gone. That relationship is over.
It's gone because it's gone. And the thing about it is, once a guy like Steph Curry is done wrong and he comes out with that, and the thing about it is, the guy that she want to create, she's going to actually create. You know about that, Rogan. You know about that, Rogan.
She gonna get some. Woo, man! She gonna get a dude that's gonna dog her out.
Gorilla, cuz. Can you imagine Steph as a gorilla? Oh, he gonna make
you never gonna exactly. Everybody wants to say. See, now this thing about it, everybody wants to say once a good girl's gone bad, she's gone forever. That's fine. She's just another hoe. But what about a good boy that goes bad? That's a whole different fucking monster.
Hold up, with unlimited resources, bitch. Oh, what it is.
That's a whole different fucking monster.
Oh, it's a monster, cuz. That's a straight up monster.
He's a fucking monster. Everybody laughing at him now.
Yeah.
And then wait till he get back on the court. After you saw how Kobe was doing when them bitches trying to bring him down.
Oh, that's good. That's some good alchemy right there.
I gotta give you credit right there. I gotta give you credit. That's right. Kobe was I rate that. Whatever. Swish. Now what, motherfucker? What, bitch? Yeah, motherfucker. I got everybody booing me in the crowd. Drop 50 on you.
Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting.
All right, guys. Just let me break in real quick. Got 70 people watching, and we got a good amount of likes. So make sure if you're watching and you haven't, go ahead and hit that like button, or hit the dislike button. I have one. I mean, you can make it.
Or hit the Cash App.
Or hit the Cash App. The Cash App is up, is in the pinned comment in the chat, and
or hit Kevin upside the head.
Or or you can not do that stupid shit and not have to complicate your life with trying to take a swing at me. So I mean, it is what it is. But anyway, probably
anybody that hits the Cash App for $500 gets one free hit, Kevin.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that would be the.
Look, Kevin, he didn't say, well, no, whatever. $500, you can have one swing.
All right. Okay, as far as the topic goes, sisters being in the manosphere, I will agree with one thing. If you come up to a panel to disrupt or say stupid shit, you should be penalized no matter the gender. You should not be given a pass. So that means that if you are a guy that says stupid shit, you should not be given a pass either, especially on this panel.
That's
But
that's guys. We already know we'll get put in check with the quickness.
well, it's well. I'm just saying, if you feel like that, um, if you feel like that there is an area, you always have the chance to speak. No one ever denies a man over here a chance to speak. As far as this panel is concerned, sometimes things do get a little out of control. But I've never said it doesn't go that far. It hasn't gone into full symmetry or anything like that.
Yeah.
And you really don't fucking know me if you think I'm a simp. So anyway, guys, try to think of a worst case scenario. We had your boy up here earlier, Smurgo, saying that once women start coming to panels, then all of a sudden channels start getting mysteriously flagged. But he said Roger's first channel got destroyed. Roger's first channel got put on hold from live streaming capabilities, but recently his first channel gained its live streaming capabilities back. So he has he has channels with a good little amount of subscribers. But the point is, because Roger, like, the comment was also made like, well, you could create another channel and create another channel. The point is, when that first channel went down, Roger created another channel. He brought that to the point of monetization. When that channel's live stream capability got stunted, he created another channel, and he called a break by his first channel's live stream capabilities coming back. The point is like, when I made that remark about, well, when I asked the question, what are women stopping you from doing in this space? Even if it was females flagging Roger, which I said it was a man that admitted to doing it, it still didn't stop Roger from doing what he feels that he needs to do in this space.
Okay.
So
also, too, it takes more than one person to flag you. I'm just saying, maybe I got one guy admitted to it, but I'm pretty sure we got a couple.
But the whole point is like, it's like, it seems that the framework is, let's frame it up to saying that it's 100% female. So what I can tell you is, guys, especially in that kind of blue pill range, they will flag your content, or people flag your content just out of jealousy. No, I mean, it wasn't a real big deal when we when a lot of channels, they had smaller viewerships and they first started out, wasn't that big a deal. But now that some of these channels are growing and getting bigger, and with that becomes more haters. I've had the great fortune of not being hit by too many haters or something like that, or people really coming for me like that.
Don't worry, you got one coming right now. Hold on, let me see. How do I do this? Okay, Kevin. I feel that Kevin upset me, and that's all that matters, because I'm a woman and I'm right.
Okay.
You know what? One thing.
I wonder if that works if I type that in with a guy figure.
Man, look at Gentile Killer. Sisters should not be in the space. They need to stay in the kitchen cooking grits.
Oh my god!
You know what I think it is? When it comes to that, I kind of look at this shit like hip hop. Like with hip hop, I was surprised as hell when Pilgrims jumped in it. You know what I'm saying? Because so we po as hell. You know what I'm saying? Called to have not, saying that you ain't be able to do nothing, build nothing, and then you know what I'm saying? You see a culture from the poorest of your sector that take over the world and shit. And then other people jump in it, and it's like, wait, you motherfuckers didn't live in the reality or whatever. I felt that's what, it felt like in the blues back in the day. Motherfuckers sing blues and you see Pilgrims, trying to sing blues. Bitch, what you like blue like? So in the aspect of dealing with, these sisters and these cats trying to keep the space of just integrity just with brothers, it's like, look, eventually it was going to grow to the point to where, even just sift watch, you were going to get, non-black men up in the space. So, it is what it is. And basically it's a sign of the growth too, as BGS point out. It's, it's really just a sign of the growth, and you can't stop growth.
So speaking of that, it's not just sisters in the space. I know for a fact, because I've been in I'm in Discord a lot, and you'd be surprised at how much a lot of black manosphere stuff comes up in the white manosphere's Discord. It is they watch almost all of our shit because it's very interesting.
Well, you know
Well,
they ain't got
they
shit
going through the
coming,
same
man.
thing.
Come
No, they
on.
know that they're going through the same thing. Cause I ain't gonna lie, you think of like Joker. Like I listen to a couple white manosphere, like Entrepreneur, Joker. What's this? Another white guy I listen to. He's in my feed too. I mean, they say a lot of shit that. Cause I ain't gonna lie, some things that they've been hit first before us. I've seen
Mm-hmm.
some issues that they have been hit first. Like the white men who have lost their job because of like the women complaining. They'll hit. More than white men will probably lose their job first before a black dude would too, because a lot of times they're in a more position that has more rep with it,
Yeah.
where so it's easier for them to lose their job. But like literally, yeah, they get hit a lot. Like you listen to a couple of the white guys, you will see that they go through, and even sometimes if you pay attention, they even say even our brothers from another mother, they get it bad. And he's like, especially like they made some comments, especially where you can see that they see our pain, so they pay attention. They may not
Mm-hmm.
talk about it a lot, but they do pay attention because I've heard them reference the us as black people.
Ah,
I
They're
mean,
well,
not
I know I got
saying
to credit where credit is due.
no,
That's
not
all.
not saying that they're trying to help us. I'm just saying
No,
that
yeah,
they're literally we're heavily watched, heavily watched.
well, I mean,
You know?
what are you think they giving each other game on this level?
No.
Fuck no.
Mm-mm.
So I mean that's the whole thing.
Too many of those people.
When KS went viral, he was giving old girl a dose of, you know, so we'll say red pill. We're giving her a dose of red pill. No, he was giving her a dose of black pill. Like, nah, bitch, you're gonna die alone. And then, you know what I'm saying, broke that shit down methodically, logical wise, towards where everyone was they had to acknowledge the logic. And they didn't want to, but it made too much sense. And then now they gotta, you know, I mean, come on, who else was giving anything like that? You know, that's like heroin.
But look who came and said. So you talk about women coming into the space. Look who came. A different colored feminist came and tried to bring her husband to back it, to back fighting back. So I mean, sometimes the women and she ain't even in the space. She just jumped in the space. Now that's something that we should not have. I think honestly, there should have been a bigger backlash from us as men about that because she's not even in this space. For her to jump in the space and try to control the narrative with her husband that's not even in the space.
But no, you want that. You want that because the shit that black women bring is that fucking proxy feminism. You know what I'm saying? They don't, you know, either they don't even know they're doing it or they're not going to acknowledge that they're bringing that ideology. Nah, white bitch finna come in this motherfucker with feminism on her motherfucking stamp, cuz, and still have to hold up to the wall
And lose.
and lose. Yes, and it's great learning points. You can't buy that type of exposure. You know what I mean?
Well, we have to keep in mind too that when that white woman came out, who used to be a writer for Cosmo, and admitted that they had been lying all these years. I've sat back and I watched for certain female content creators to address this issue, because if you're all about, as far as their talking points are concerned, because a lot of times their talking points are, well, you know, we need to talk and we need to have, you know, better relations among, you know, black men and black women, this and that, and the four blase is. Okay, fair enough. You ain't got nothing to say about them white chicks though?
Facts.
The same white chicks that you believe, because as Malcolm said years ago, politics is warfare without bloodshed. So when these women decided to believe and go with the lie, they declare war on their daughters, their sons, the men in their group, and they chose to align themselves with a different side. So now, okay, before those conversations really get had, what's your view on those women that lied to you? Because women are all about telling the truth, and we need to get the truth
Great
out and all that type of
question.
stuff. Cool. All right, I'm with
Yeah.
it. Do you got anything
Mhm.
to say towards those liberal white chicks? The same chicks y'all claim that we so head over heels for, but y'all been following them for 50 years. What you got to say? What you got on that? You know what I'm saying? If you ain't having those type of debates, if you ain't having those type of conversations, a 10-woman panel talking about damn, because I've yet to see any females have that conversation like, we thought
They don't go at it
we thought these men were lying, but man, this woman then came out and said they were actually lying to us. So now both sides can't be lying. So since they said they was lying, we must be right. We gotta be right because we talking the complete opposite of what they've been saying. So are y'all gonna give us a just due? Are you gonna give us a just due? Which means that we've been right. Your mama been wrong. So that means you're gonna have to go and have those tough conversations that we've been trying to tell y'all. Some of us been trying to tell y'all, even in relationships with y'all, hey, you gotta stand up to your mom. You can't let your mom control your life. Boom, 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 boom. Oh no, you can't tell me what to do, mom. That's my mama. Oh, okay. Well, your mama been lying to you too. So now we want to see those conversations. Those type of conversations that Jeannie Ma had on camera with her mama.
Right.
Because she did it. She did it.
But it takes honesty.
On camera,
That takes honesty, and that's what they have
right.
they have a hard time dealing with. Come to the space.
Hey, listen up, fellas. We're nearing the 3-hour mark, so we're gonna have to pick this back up any given Sunday. So go ahead and make y'all final statements, gentlemen.
I'm about first. Respect, long live the habitual line steppers. Appreciate the hospitality care. As far as it goes with Sisters to the Space, I think what it is, they need to first try to respect the language of the space in an aspect of not what we speak, but in an aspect of the nature of what is being spoken, as if it's a whole foreign tongue to you. All right. Once you learn the language, now you know how to approach respectfully. And then there can be, some cordiality, there can be some positive building and some growth. But if you come in with your programming, just know that brothers have been, sharpening one another for quite some time in the space going on. Like what? 15 years or something like that? That's a long fucking time, you know what I'm saying? And just, know your role, play your position, and start over when you can, holla.
All right, Rogish. Irv.
All right, like I said, long live the habitual line steppers. Thanks for having me up, Kev. And I think that women can come to these panels and learn a lot. Because when I sit back and think about my own life, it took me and my own dad battling some of the things my own mom was telling my sister, and I know that she made them in good heart. And some of the times the things that these women say to y'all, they said to y'all in survival, but you can't. It's hard to thrive. You really when you living in a survival way, you just stuck in survival. You're not going to really thrive in a survival mindset. So y'all need to get into a thriving mindset rather than a surviving mindset. And have a good one, Kev.
All right, you too, Herb. Thank you for coming up and sharing your thoughts and perspective. Really appreciate that. Judge, Ra, either one of you.
I'll go. Peace, Kevin. Thanks for having me up again. Peace to the panel in the chat once again. I think that there are a lot of men who want to see revenge inflicted upon women. And it's coming from a real place. So I'm not one of these people that's dismissing how they feel. Especially, for those who've had women bring harm to them. To me, I think as humans, it's better for the lessons to be implemented. And not to say necessarily that we have the lessons for them, because some of their issues that they need addressed goes well beyond what we're capable of doing. Maybe we can point them in the right direction, but ultimately the work that many of these women have to do really falls on their shoulders. But in personal relationships, people are going to go through things, and they're going to go through real life shit. They're going to have death of loved ones. Tragedies are going to happen. People could lose a job, and financial situation can go in chaos. And things that get you through those things are having bonds. And on both sides, especially if you're Generation X and beyond, many people on both sides have not been taught how to actually create those bonds. For somebody like myself, who was around a lot of older people when I was younger, because I was a great grandchild, so being around my great grandparents who were married for 50 years, very respected people in the community to this very day. I learned a lot of that old wisdom through them, and there are some people out here who just never got those teachings, and so unfortunately, on both sides, they're out here in the world and they're just flailing. They don't have to be, but they can learn, because any human mind can learn if they choose to do the work. But they're going to have to come with an open mind. They're going to have to come with a mentality where they want to see the issues that they have resolved. They're not trying to win arguments. To me, when I come in these spaces, to me, it's not about trying to win an argument. It's about pointing people in the right direction where they can have their issues resolved. The fact that some of these women come into these spaces feeling that they can glean answers for that's actually a testament to the space and what the space has evolved into. The fact that we have so many excellent Black men in these spaces, educated business owners, scientific guys, PhDs, you name it, masters, business owners who are in this space, which only helps fortify the space. The more talented and productive brothers that exist in these spaces, the less women can complain. And we're starting to see women have to reassess what they think is happening in these spaces. And as we can see, somebody like Kim Samuel, for example, who is really shot out there, being connected to these spaces, he's speaking a certain language that a lot of these people can really understand and really gravitate to, even if they don't know how to get to that point at that present moment. It's resonating with them because at the end of the day, they're still human. You know what I'm saying? We're humans and we have human needs and wants, and we connect through emotion, and we disconnect through emotion as well. And so many of these women are disconnected emotionally. They don't know how to get back online. The best thing that they can do is get some help, get some counseling, so they can realize for themselves, because this ain't even about, us as Black men. Internally, as women, as individual women, they can get the help they need so they can realize like they're human, and it's not necessarily you're a naturally messed up person. You just had some trauma in your life that you went through and you need to address it. But the same thing goes for the men as well. The same help that a lot of these women need, a lot of men need it too, because they didn't get it as well. And we just have to learn how to, operate by this golden rule, which I was taught when I was coming up, which was, you do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That, is a really simple way to operate, but it can really, really help a lot of people because at a certain point in your life, man, you just get tired of all the fighting. You get tired of going through all the back and forth, the back and forth, the back and forth. That shit really ain't really accomplishing anything. But solutions can. And I think that one of the solutions that can help out people on both sides is the counseling aspect. I would implore men who are content creators in these spaces to be very careful about women you let in the space, because I feel it is a sacred space. And you can't let women come in these spaces and gaslight men to infinity, because that is a quick way to turn men off from the spaces who actually really need to hear some of the things that a lot of intelligent men have to say out here. And you want your space to grow, so you have to operate your space in that way to be protective of the men that come into these spaces, while simultaneously, if you want to allow women to come up, give them sensible rules that they have to abide by. And if they show that they're not going to abide by them, kick them out. Just like you would do if anybody came in your house. If they don't live by your rules in your house, what you going to do? You're going to kick their ass out. And that's it. Everybody be safe.
All right. Well, I'll say like this. I'm gonna go ahead and keep mine short because basically like this is the first thing is this: the women can come on and start being in the space, but the main thing is this: is under no circumstances are they allowed to make any changes to the space, because under no circumstances are they allowed any special treatment or anything at all. Because the problem is, once you open that door a little bit, you just turn this space into the real world. And the problem with that is, as soon as if the space ever gets a reputation for every time women come around, it's always just like being in that will be the end of the space. So I totally understand where that comes, but I mean, like, no offense, when they come into space, if the men just go ahead and hit them hard, too fucking bad. No offense, wow, you got every fucking where else. You just can't come on this panel and do it. Wow, that ain't the end of the world. I mean, that's one of the things that's more important, and I see exactly what men say, because I see from their point of view. It's like, God damn, y'all done took everything. Now you want to come into a space where we feel comfortable. Because I ain't gonna lie, as soon as the space is labeled as they're gonna get special treatment, you're gonna lose the most important people. Because unfortunately, by the time the men even find their space, they're already on the last leg and tired. So the worst thing they'll do is just say, "Fuck it, this won't come back here no more." And then no, then the space will end up turning just to women, because what it'll be, it'll turn just to the church. You'll have a place full of women, and the men say, "You know what? Fuck it." No, why is that? Because as soon as we get two or three broads in there, or somebody that somebody like, it's gonna be just like the real world. So why am I gonna even waste my time being here? So I totally see where they're going. You get no special treatment. Unfortunately, like this, is plain and simple. Where you get treated with kid gloves, everywhere else, you might get smacked around here if you want to be here. But that's gonna test you as the woman that's actually want to learn. Because see, a lot of people, women don't come into this space to learn. They come into this space to change it, and that's the main problem. And I'm gonna keep it short and simple. All right, Kev, good show. Did you fall asleep?
Okay. Thanks, fellas. As always, think y'all can excuse yourselves
All
right
right.
now. All right, appreciate you being here. Um, Listen up. If you are going to set some kind of fucking guideline for how YouTube panels should run in the Black Manosphere, my suggestion is you consult the content creator first before you carry out some wicked suggestion that you haven't talked to the content creator about first. Otherwise, it's going to be turmoil and bedlam. What I'm trying to get people to understand is what is best for the viewing audience. No matter what you have been through in your personal life, it is what's best for the viewing audience. Excuse me. I can create some pocket reality inside my head all day, and it could just be full of all women have bad intentions for coming to the Black manosphere. So let me tell you a little story about the group called Black Men Being Brutally Honest with Everyone on Facebook group. One of my biggest resentments of that Facebook group is the fact that full-grown ass black men could not hold the fort down because they let women bother them. And I felt like it was a weak look. So if you're going to let the same thing happen to the Black manosphere, you're going to have these complaints. Because you got to be proactive enough to hold the fort down. If you don't do that, if you don't defend the space, if you don't hold down the space, you don't fucking deserve it. Stop telling these content creators how to run their goddamn channels and just go with the goddamn flow. Or you could do this. Have the courage to open up your own YouTube channel and see how far you get with that shit. Otherwise, stop telling these motherfuckers what to do with their shit. like seriously. I mean, I don't come on here with too many personal vendettas. I'm trying to do what works and what is best for the growth and development of this channel. And if it means I got to lose a few people because your hatred for black women means more than the actual production of the channel, then so be it. More will come. But that's all I got to say for tonight. Just get used to the evolution and the change. And no, the Black manosphere is not dead. Cut that bullshit out. Peace out. This is Kev. In Kev we trust. See y'all on any given Sunday. I'll have a good topic. Peace out, people.